Okay, Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM. Welcome everyone. This is Football Live this wonderful afternoon. And of course, we're going to be having a wonderful time right here. Of course, Johnny Guava just done with her bit. And of course, Football Live. So many games to look forward to. Quite a lot of them happening in all of the leagues. I'll be here alongside Tony Becker-Dermo. And of course, FJ will be taking a look at quite a lot. In England, the game already started. Burnley versus Sheffield United. 4 minutes in already, and it is still goalless. It is still 0-0. There are also games to look forward to. Still in the Premier League, you've got Newcastle by 2:15. They will be at home to West Ham, and of course, much later on, 4:30, you would have Liverpool taking on Aston Villa, and later in the evening, at 7 p.m., it will be Southampton taking on Manchester City. Games to also look forward to in the Premier League. Tony Becker-Dermo is right here with me, and of course, Football Live will be taking a look at quite a lot. What's up? How you doing?
I'm fine. What's up with you?
I'm great. I'm fabulous.
This should be our first appearance on Football Live.
Yes, I think so. It is.
Wow. I remember those days, Sunday Sports Show.
Ooh.
You don't forget.
That was
very long ago. Well, anyway, it's good to be here. It's a fantastic Sunday, and there's plenty of football. Football, of course, in England, in Italy, in Spain. Of course, for Bayern, congratulations to Bayern Munich. They're really making things happen in Germany.
Amazing. And of course, just like we said, there are also other games we'll be looking at in the Serie A and also in La Liga. Loads of talking points we'll be taking a look at. We'll discuss Bayern much later on in the show. We'll also be taking a look at Arsenal. We'll take a look at Real Madrid. Loads of talking points to actually dissect right here. And just like I mentioned before, it is 6 minutes already gone into that game between Burnley and Sheffield United. So we'll give you a roundup of how games actually went down yesterday on Football Live when we had our UK team actually break things down. So we'll give that to you, and after that we'll return.
Manchester United have boosted their top four hopes in the Premier League with a 5-2 victory over Bournemouth on Saturday. Mason Greenwood scored twice as United continued their good form. With more details, here's Tom McGarry.
Manchester United have moved into the top four of the Premier League standings on a temporary basis at least, and they've added to Bournemouth's relegation woes. But it was far from simple for the Red Devils as they claimed a 5-2 victory over the Cherries at Old Trafford. They had to do it the hard way as they fell behind after just 15 minutes. Indecisive defending at the back allowed Junior Stanislas to get to the byline. Looked like he was going to cut the ball back, but he superbly curled the ball into the near post. Questions will be asked of David De Gea in the Manchester United goal, but that was 1-0 to Bournemouth. The lead lasted just 14 minutes, however. Mason Greenwood's powerful left foot strike was too hot to handle for Aaron Ramsdale, and that made it 1-1. And a few minutes after that, Marcus Rashford made it 2-1 to United from the penalty spot after Adam Smith had been adjudged to have handled in the area. It was 3-1 as well to United before the break. Probably the goal of the game, Anthony Martial cutting in from the left, curling a sumptuous effort into the top corner. After the restart, however, Bournemouth really started quickly coming out of the blocks. Lewis Cook forcing a save from De Gea, Danjuma hitting the post with the rebound, and seconds after that, Nemanja Matic's poor pass put Eric Bailly at half-time substituting all kinds of problems. He was adjudged to have handled the ball in the area. That meant a second penalty of the game, and Josh King against his former club coolly converted to make it 3-2. And then just after that, Bournemouth thought they were back on level terms, but Arnaud Danjuma was rightly flagged offside after he toe-poked the ball beyond De Gea. That was a turning point really, because minutes later United were back establishing their 2-goal advantage. Greenwood with his second of the game, and a powerful strike from just inside the area. Just before the hour mark, Bruno Fernandes's superb curling free kick made it 5-2, and that pretty much wrapped up the points for United, who could have added more goals later on. They had a goal disallowed themselves. Marcus Rashford just about offside when he tapped home Aaron Wan-Bissaka's cross into the box. There was efforts for Igalo late on, where he sent a strike wide of Ramsdale's goal, and the goalkeeper also made good saves from a Pogba free kick and a late effort as well from Fred. So the full-time score at Old Trafford, Manchester United 5, Bournemouth 2.
Leicester City stay 3 points clear of United in third as they got back to winning ways with a 3-0 victory over Crystal Palace. Jamie Vardy scored twice for Leicester, and that took his tally to 100 Premier League goals and 101 Premier League goals on the day. Watching on was Jack Deaton.
Leicester City take another step towards Champions League football next season with a hard-fought 3-0 victory over Crystal Palace. It was a first half where chances were few and far between, but a couple of good opportunities for the hosts. Kelechi Iheanacho steering a header wide after a great ball in from Mark Albrighton, before fullback James Justin marauded forward down the right and powered his shot against the crossbar. The closest that Crystal Palace came, and really this was all game, was through Luka Milivojevic, his free kick from 25 yards going just wide of Kasper Schmeichel's right-hand post. But it was the second half where Leicester really asserted their dominance and took the lead just 6 minutes into it. Kelechi Iheanacho tapping in from 6 yards after Yuri Tielemans' teasing cross wasn't dealt with by Crystal Palace goalkeeper Vicente Gaeta. After that goal, it sort of spurred on both teams to really have a go. Christian Benteke's shot from the edge of the penalty area went way over the crossbar. Before a minute after that, Jamie Vardy hit the side netted after Jose Perez's ball over the top. The closest really that Crystal Palace came in the second half, and the only save Kasper Schmeichel had to make all game, came courtesy of a Gary Cahill header that was comfortably saved after James MacArthur clipped a ball into the area. But with 10 minutes to go, it became the Jamie Vardy show. Vardy tapping in after Mamadou Sakho slipping on the edge of the penalty area allowed substitute Harvey Barnes to pick the ball up, and he just slotted it across the edge of the 6-yard box for Vardy to tap into an empty net. And then late on, the two combined once again. This time Barnes picking the ball up on the left, playing a lovely ball around the back of the defence for Vardy, who, with his pace, marauded past the defence, went one-on-one with Guaita and just slotted it into the back of the net. It really was a lovely finish from the now Premier League top goal scorer with 21 goals to his name. It means that Leicester stay third in the Premier League ahead of the games tonight. They know that they will stay in the top three. The full-time score at the King Power Stadium was Leicester City 3, Crystal Palace 0.
The early game in the Premier League finished Norwich City 0, Brighton 1, as rock bottom Norwich appeared to be heading for relegation. With more details, here's Simon Barlow.
There was a big smile on Graham Potter's face as his Brighton side picked up a vital 3 points in their clash with Norwich City on Saturday. A victory which opens up, at least for the time being, a 9-point gap on the teams just below the relegation line. They are Bournemouth and Aston Villa. And he sees his side bounce back as well from their midweek thrashing in the hands of Manchester United. The coach made 4 changes, and I think he'll feel as though all of those changes were vindicated. 3 of the 4 changes that he made were actually involved in the only goal of the game. As he finished finished at Norwich 0, Brighton 1. The goal in the 25th minute, scored by Leandro Trossard, who'd come into the side from Alexis McAllister. And it was Trossard who finished off a lovely move that was started out by Neil Mopai. He played the ball out to Oren Moy, who advanced down the right-hand side before the Aussie played an inch-perfect low cross to the near post. Trossard stealing in front of the defender to angle it home past Tim Krul. Very few chances in the first half. Norwich had plenty of possession but couldn't do much with the ball. A couple of penalty appeals, but really nothing in either of them. And so it was 1-0 at the break to Brighton. In the second half, there was a much more concerted effort from Norwich to get the equalising goal. They made a triple substitution on 65 minutes with Timo Pukki coming on, as did Adam Eder, and the best chance for Norwich to score came late on with a cross from McLean headed towards goal by Eder. It glanced off the inside of the woodwork with Matt Ryan beaten, and then Adam Webster was there to hook it away to safety. Tariq Lamptey, I have to say, was excellent for the visiting side at right back. He simply has this innate knowledge of when to join the attack, and he was good both going forward and in defence. Many covering challenges and clearances from the former Chelsea man. I thought equally Emiliano Buendia was good for Norwich City, but you have to think now that the situation they're in, they're still 6 points away from the teams above them, and games running out now, just a handful of games to go for Norwich City. This was a real chance for them to move out of that big problem they've got at the bottom of the table. They haven't taken it, and you've got to feel now that they're going to be building for next season. Possibly also the likes of Todd Cantwell, who didn't start today, and Timo Pukki might even be not at the club next season. We don't know, but I have to say, it's looking bleak for Norwich City. It's looking better for Brighton Hove Albion. It's finished Norwich 0, Brighton 1.
In Serie A in Italy, Juventus moved 7 points clear at the top ahead of Lazio before their game against AC Milan with a 4-1 win over Torino in the Turin derby. With the details, here's Tom Hill.
Juventus moved clear then at the top of the Serie A table thanks to a 4-1 success over Torino. Their advantage now over Lazio, their nearest challengers for the Scudetto, stands at 7 points. albeit Lazio are in action later on Saturday. But Maurizio Sarri's men got the job done in plenty of time and made a cracking start on home soil as well. Dybala finding the bottom corner via a deflected shot. Cuadrado, the man that played him in. It was Cuadrado that got the second. Cristiano Ronaldo this time with the assist, teeing up the Colombia winger who charged into the box, hit a bullet drive across the face, and Silva Sirigu in the Torino goal had no chance as it went flying past him into the far corner. A very lively first half in terms of tackles. Bonucci, Pjanic and De Ligt all carded. The latter was given his yellow card for a incident in the box. He was just to have handled the shot. The referee considered and consulted VAR for several minutes before, in the 51st minute, Belotti thumped home a penalty past Gianluigi Buffon. In the second half, Juventus made changes, but it didn't matter. They extended their lead and made it 2 goals cushion again. Cristiano Ronaldo curling his drilled free kick into the far corner, perfect amount of pace, a little curl at the end, against Sirigu, no chance. Sirigu did try and keep his team in the game with a couple of important saves. Edera and Saldi, Gigi and Milico were all thrown on, and Gigi's only contribution 3 minutes into the game, or into his own game, was to put the ball into the back of his own net. Across from the left, it really was difficult to deal with, and Gigi in the end side-footed it past his own keeper and into the bottom corner. So Torino still not 100% away from the drop zone. They'll want another win to perfectly clear of relegation. Juventus, though, looking good for that title. They won by 4-1.
And finally, in La Liga on Saturday, it finished Celta Vigo 1, Real Betis 1.
Check it out, y'all. And I'm scored! Alright, that was pretty good.
Thriller FM. Always on the ball.
Football Live, our proof. Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM has gone beyond one league.
Football Live.
Be part of the biggest football package on radio. Football Live on Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM. Send your comments now to our Facebook fan page, Sports Radio Brilla FM. Our Twitter handle at Brilla FM 889 with the hashtag Football Live, or email footballlive@brillafm.net. Hurry now, send your comments and be heard.
Football Live. Football Live. Football Live. Football Live.
Okay, right back at you. We just had to give you the roundup of how things went down yesterday during Football Live, the games that actually went down yesterday. Anyway, let's get right into it. And we told you earlier, before we went for the roundup from yesterday, that the game between Burnley and Sheffield already started. Yes, it's still goalless in that encounter. 17 minutes already gone into that game. And of course, we'll be taking a look at a game that is going to be happening in La Liga. Yes, of course, not just that game, but the team in itself, because they're 4 points clear, talking about Real Madrid. Yes, they will be up against Athletic Bilbao today. They will also have their opponents who are in a title race, Barcelona, taking on Villarreal. So the attention will be on both teams to see how things would actually go and play out right there. Barcelona are away to Villarreal. The interesting thing is that both teams would have to play Villarreal, who are fought on the log right now towards the end of this season. And so Barcelona goes first to take on Villarreal, and of course Athletic Bilbao are at home to Real Madrid. Both teams are away for this encounter. And of course we'll take a look at how Real Madrid have actually done. They're edging really close, really close to their first league title in 3 years. And of course, don't forget that the fans have been so hungry to get a league title, something that has been eluding them for the past 3 years now. So yeah, they're 4 points clear of Barcelona, and they could even go farther clearer. The gap could be widened. That is if Barcelona fail to actually show up, and of course if they get to also win their game against Athletic Bilbao before Barcelona takes on Villarreal. So Madrid were headed for the doldrums last season. You remember, after a shambolic campaign that ended as early as March, with the club feeling the effects, of course, of Cristiano Ronaldo's exit. A lot of people felt Real Madrid would not be able to pick it up after Cristiano Ronaldo, and things would go crash, boom, bang. It really didn't happen that way. And of course, ever since his exit, they've picked themselves up. Zinedine Zidane, upon his return, has galvanized the side and, of course, instilled a lot of confidence, much more confidence that they could do it even without Cristiano Ronaldo, and giving them a new list of life. And so we want to take a look at Real Madrid right now. As you give us your views on this talking point, you can also drop your comments there, Facebook and also on Twitter. We'll get to hear from you. Who has been the most important for Real Madrid this season? Yes, they're getting close to getting a league title, and of course, if things play out really well for them, they could also widen the gap from Barcelona. So let's find out who has been the most important for Real Madrid this season. Is it Zidane or is it Ramos? Would you say Benzema? Who some people feel that if Real Madrid actually get to win the league title this season, then Messi should not even smell the Player of the Year award, and it has to be either Ramos or Benzema. Well, let's see who has been most important for Real Madrid. We'll get to hear from you. Don't forget, I also have FJ and I'll have Tony Becker-Jeremo in here with me. We'll be taking a look at all of the talking points right here. And of course, the game also still ongoing. Just the game has started right there in England, the early afternoon game, 20 minutes in, Burnley 0, Sheffield United 0. Yes, and of course, other games still expected there. How you doing, FJ?
Yes, it's a good time to be on Football Live once again. This beautiful Sunday afternoon, and of course, a lot of games going on, and yesterday was a win for Arsenal, win for Chelsea, win for Manchester United. Yep. Good day for the big boys, and you know, we can't wait to see how interesting in terms of the top 4 race goes on. And as well, today the title race is in picture in La Liga, so it's good to see football back, you know, and giving us the goosebumps and you know, all the action that we've been waiting for.
All right, so Tony, we're taking a look at Real Madrid. We already said our pleasantries.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, but we'll take a look at Real Madrid right now. I did say that when Ronaldo actually left, things were looking as if they couldn't pick it up from there, but Zinedine got right back and things started to look up for Real Madrid, and now they're getting close to getting a league title after 3 years of not even getting it at all. Who has been the most important man? Is it Zidane? Would you say it is Benzema or Sergio Ramos?
No, it's a difficult question you've just asked me. Great players make great coaches. Sergio Ramos has been very, very important for Real Madrid, even at 34. You look at Karim Benzema, he's been scoring goals, and currently he's their leading goal scorer. 17 of his goals have come in La Liga, and when you look at goals involvement, he has scored 22 goals this season in total. The remainder coming in the competitions, and he's also assisted his teammates 10 times. So if you add 22 plus 10 in about 42 matches he's played, so he's contributed about, say, maybe 50% to their success. If they were to do the awards, I'd be very, very surprised if he's not even, giving a player of, Real Madrid, player of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to pick the players first before I pick the coach. So since you asked about the 3 of them, I'll put Karim Benzema first in terms of importance, because if he was not scoring the goals, where would Real Madrid be? They obviously would be languishing in second, or still languishing in second, or they would be in third. There are other important players in the team as well. Don't forget that across Europe, when you look across Europe, Thibaut Courtois, not just in Spain, Thibaut Courtois has also been very, very important for Real Madrid. You didn't mention him in your short list, but
yes.
Keeping the clean sheet. So whatever accolade you are giving to Sergio Ramos, you obviously would also want to look at Thibaut Courtois for making some very vital saves, and also keeping at the back line, the goals ratio, keeping it down low. And then I come to the coach, but it will not be fair, because their job has also been made very, very easy by Barcelona. The uncertainty in the camp of Barcelona is why Real Madrid is thriving. You look at Setien now, and then you look at Zidane. If Barcelona had a good coach, they probably would not be struggling. Real Madrid would be second. They'll still be playing, second fiddle to Barcelona. You look at how Barcelona is wasting the last years of Lionel Messi by getting the wrong recruitment here and there, getting wrong recruitment in terms of players and even in terms of the coaching. That is why Real Madrid probably will win the league. Not because that's why they don't make.
Not because they were extraordinary.
Yes,
just because the undoing of Barcelona.
Karim Benzema has not been impeccable. Lionel Messi has 22 goals in La Liga. He has 17. So all the goals he has scored in all competitions is what Lionel Messi has scored in La Liga alone. So it's not as if he's had a fantastic campaign. This is just vintage Karim Benzema, who averages 20 goals, per season. But then, because he's been there, he's sort of scored some very important goals. You look at the last time out, was it against that back heel was against Espanyol, when it looked like they were going to play a draw. That back heel he gave to Casemiro, that assist was equal to a goal. That alone, where Espanyol Barcelona could not do Barcelona a favor by drawing or even beating Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid did something similar for Real Madrid, forced them to a 2-2 draw. So you look at how things have been falling in the right places for Real Madrid. Fine, somebody can easily recall that when in terms of the El Clasico, it was 4 points for Real Madrid and 1 point for Barcelona. But it goes beyond. Even with the El Clasico, they were still leading by 2 points, during the lockdown. So Karim Benzema, since you've asked, Karim Benzema won, Sergio Ramos. If Sergio Ramos was even that important, it will not even be a debate. He's 34. His contract runs out next year when he'll be 35. There's this debate in Spain whether or not he should be given a 2-year contract that will take him to when he's 37. So imagine, that's not to say he's playing badly. I'm just telling you how things happening in the camp of Real Madrid, but their course has been held by Barcelona. If Barcelona were doing their business, it would not matter if Real Madrid were beating Espanyol 1-0.
So it's not like they've done anything extraordinary.
No, nothing extraordinary. If Karim Benzema had scored 40 goals now, I would say, this is something he's done that he has never done before. Check his average. No, this is just normal Karim Benzema. But then because you asked the question, I'll put him first. Put Sergio Ramos, because he's also, his leadership, his drive and everything has been very, very present. I also love to put Thibaut Courtois in the mix. It's not easy to have the highest number of clean sheets, not just in Spain, no, in Europe. Although that's the only way they measure goalkeepers. I think it's flawed. If you give if they give him the Bobby Zamora award at the end of the Zamora, there's this award they give to goalkeeper, the Zamora award. If they give him, it's because of the number of clean sheets he kept. But then it's a function of the kind of defense that you have. If you're a defender if you're a goalkeeper for Liverpool and you're slightly above average, there's a good possibility you go on to you keep clean sheets. The goalkeeper of Burnley has, behind Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken, in England, they have the second highest number of clean sheets. So it's also a combination of the Benis of this world or the Tarkowskis of this world, and that's where Ramos comes in. So for Real Madrid, they've not done. I'm not beefing them. Nobody should get it twisted. I think they've profited from the poor form of Barcelona by every standard. When you look at how many league titles Barcelona have won in the last 11 years, if I don't get it wrongly, I think it's 8. So every other year Barcelona go on to win but this year they've been very, very poor because they shouldn't have fired Valverde. This coach that they employed is not as good as Valverde. But they fired Ernesto Valverde and put what we call in Nigeria a nomadic Fulani. So the Barcelona players are like cattle now, you're just showing them up and down. That's why Real Madrid is going to win this title. Except something else happens today. I don't know. Athletic will have 2 points from Barcelona, I think, at some point. Yeah, before coronavirus, there was this late equalizer. The 2 points.
1-0.
Barcelona could not beat Atletico Bilbao. They dropped points. Could not beat Sevilla. Could not beat Atletico Madrid because they are not good. They could not manage the game. That's why Real Madrid has profited. Karim Benzema with his 22 goals, number 1. I don't know what FJ has to say, but that's just my take.
All right, so FJ, do you agree with him, or you have other views? Is it because Barcelona are fumbling right now, and that's the reason why they overtook?
This is the worst La Liga title race in years. The worst. Like, straight out of the closet. Since 2007, 2008, I've never seen a worse La Liga title race. In the sense that both teams, it seems like nobody wants to win the title. Even Atletico Madrid gave up pretty much easily before the lockdown.
So this is like the worst version of both teams.
Yeah, exactly. It's the worst version of both teams, and it's about, okay, who's going to be worse? Who's going to make less mistakes? And Real Madrid have made the least of the mistakes because they've taken the points, and I think you definitely have to give it to them for making the least of the mistakes. It is the person who makes the least mistakes that wins the title. When we had the two teams at the height of their powers, you talk about 2012, 2013, and 2011, 2012, the Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho years, it was the same thing. It was about who made the least mistakes.
And another thing too, officiating has favored Real Madrid. If you check out some of their results post lockdown, check out the game against with this team where Odegaard plays for Real Sociedad. The officiating in that game was dodgy. Adnan Januzaj looked like he had scored a good goal in that game. That goal was chalked off. Somehow Real Madrid won that game. That game, was it not that same game Karim Benzema, they were saying handball, no handball. So the officiating, there was even when it looked like Rodrigo had opened the scoring against Real Madrid for Valencia, somehow VAR gave Real Madrid, they chopped off that goal and Real Madrid went on to win those. Those are the kind of things that have not even favored Barcelona in terms of the officiating. Look at the penalties they gave. That one I think it was harsh. The penalty incident for Semedo, I think it was harsh. I think it was I don't know. I think it was accidental, but 2 penalties and they drew that game. It's not as if Real Madrid have been impeccable. Liverpool were impeccable. Even when they sort of slumped, you know that this title was for Liverpool. But you cannot say the same for Real Madrid. VAR, officiating, bad form from Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. They don't help Real Madrid to this point.
Okay.
I'm not beefing them.
They're just being candid. Okay,
Yes.
no problem. We'll take some calls. 0700000889. Let's hear from you, and we'll also read from you on Facebook. 0700000889. The game is still ongoing. Burnley, Sheffield United still goalless. 30 minutes into that game already. This is Awolola, and he says Tony is making sense from his analysis on Real Madrid. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Football Live.
My name is Gideon. Please, which time Barcelona is going to play today?
Are you serious? You can see us. We are breaking down.
We are talking about Real
something
Madrid.
so important. And here you are. Huh?
He's a Barcelona fan. Villarreal, you know, do well today. Villarreal just end the title race like Chelsea did. I don't know what was Chelsea's business. They just beat Man City. We could have been witnessing. They would have postponed it a little. But Villarreal can even end it today. They just enter, just score like 2.
He did it last season.
Just end the title race today.
Anyway, so that game is happening for 9 p.m. And of course, you've got Real Madrid's game coming way earlier by 1 p.m. So let's hear from you. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon. The angel in the building.
Welcome, sir.
I know it's funny. You have angels, honestly. I think you really have a lot of angels, but I'm calling you specially because I find it difficult to pick your voice and the one of Oge and Jose. Two of you are convincing me.
See, you need a Q-tip.
Good afternoon.
A big bag of
Good afternoon, MJ. Good afternoon, Tony. This is United Temodi. Happy Sunday to you guys.
Welcome. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, you see why I use that language? And truly you are, but I couldn't pick who is speaking because I didn't come in time to
get your best. Score own goal. Penalty scoring. Try.
Thank you for that.
My go ahead.
Yeah. I think first of all, Tony, I pick all on your analyst today.
Pick all.
You might be my very good friend, but today I pick all.
Oh yeah, now.
You spoke as if you have a little beef about
No, I don't.
Whether you like it or not. Because the issue your analyst want to turn into as if is to scuttle that the real question.
No, answer the question. I said Karim Benzema now.
But you went too much on their mistakes. Everybody has mistakes. They have their own doing. The same thing with Barcelona. If Real Madrid as poor as this before, everybody is having problems. And I thank the way LG really put it out, that every one of them are equally not doing up to expectation. So that's why I wouldn't have that was the really point I think against that.
Are you a Real Madrid fan?
I'm a Manchester United. I don't forget it. On someone 30 years plus, that's an easy joke now. I would never go against them. I'm just trying
That's why I kept saying that I'm not beefing them. I'm not
no worry. So, but I'll give it to Sergio Ramos, honestly. No matter the coach really did wonders. All the players you guys called did wonders. Even Coach Over too. I love them. They really perform wonderfully well. But we have to believe one thing is questions and the leadership always embolden the team. And that's what I find out that Sergio Ramos really did. He did this one as this is my last need. As if his life depends on it. He watched most of his matches, scoring penalty for them, and even scoring some difficult and very important goals. So that shows he really worked hard for this. Really, Benzema tried a lot. He scored good goals, and that the good quality of the coach Zidane really bring their spirit so high. So Zidane did a lot of work too. He's supposed to win the best coach for that Spanish league.
All right, thank you. You have to make it brief. When you call, just make it short. There are people trying too. Peter Maye says Benzema for me has been it. Ramos has been captain, fantastic at the heart of defense, and coach made the best decision. But without this man called Benzema, will there ever be 4 points which moves you forward on the log? 3 points which moves you forward on the log. When other clubs are scoring and winning, I believe no. So I doubt Madrid would have scored as many goals as they have, and unarguably on the top spot without great efforts of this hitman Benzema. So for me, I think he's been the most important player. Chisom Raffel on Facebook says Zinedine has been the most important at Real Madrid this season. His tactics, his lineup, his substitution has been absolutely wonderful. And another Abiodun Odufuwa says Sergio Ramos contributed a lot to the team than Benzema. Barcelona will draw with Villarreal today. Now, wow. And this is Remy Chooks. Remy Chooks says Zinedine has been the most important for Real Madrid this season, but they lack Cristiano Ronaldo touch. Do you think that's what would have made them extra? Because, we've said both teams have actually been ordinary. So if Ronaldo were probably there, I don't mean to go back to the past, but do you think that would have made them extra?
I'm not gonna drag myself into that conversation, because you look at Cristiano Ronaldo since he left Real Madrid, and you say probably if he had stayed, he probably would have gotten one more Ballon d'Or. Real Madrid would be better. Of course, everything is in hindsight. I think Real Madrid, Ronaldo with this current Real Madrid would probably have sealed up the title at this point, because Ronaldo would definitely have scored the goals. He had the chemistry with Benzema, and the difficulty that they definitely have, the chemistry and the combination of both players, very good one. But I don't want to get drawn into Ronaldo discussions, because then you'd start talking about Lionel Messi and everything, and how Messi would definitely not have let his guard down, because the reason,
stepped it up.
Yes, it would have stepped it up. The reason why Messi is playing at this level is simply because there's no Ronaldo, in sight in La Liga to push him. So yes, I think probably, but we don't know as well. But for me this season, I think you look at a player of Karim Benzema's quality, 24 goals contribution to the team that has scored 61. Real Madrid have done well. They've not been exceptional, just like we've been saying, but they've done just enough. And when you're doing just enough, it means the coach is doing something right. Yes, I understand Benzema's contributed 24 goals, which is almost 50% of what Real Madrid have scored this season. They've scored 61 goals in La Liga. Benzema's contributed 24 of that, 17 goals and 7 assists. So and then you look at Sergio Ramos, he scored 9 goals. Those 9 goals have won 8 points, because he's got a more even goal spread. And you also look at that and you're saying probably it will be easier to point to those players. I think Zinedine Zidane has done all the works in terms of tactics. You look at the big games this season, games where Real Madrid would normally drop points. the big games, especially Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla, Villarreal, Valencia. They didn't lose to Valencia over 2 legs this season. Last season was not the case. They lost to Valencia at the Mestalla, 2-1. The first leg they drew 2-2. This season they won both games. Against Barcelona, they picked 4 points off Barcelona. This is the first time since Carlo Ancelotti that they've done that in the league. So it's pretty much, straightforward that I think Zinedine Zidane has helped the team become better. They've evolved. They've, in terms of tactics, in terms of, there's that grittiness to the team. There's that ruggedness. There's that desire to always go the distance. You see that the players want to die on the field for this guy. And as much as I really give credit to Benzema and Sergio Ramos and Thibaut Courtois as well, because 16 clean sheets is not easy, especially in a league where you've got Jan Oblak, who's made 15 clean sheets as well. But just like the radio's anchor said, you have to give credit to the likes of Varane, Ramos, Carvajal, and Ferland Mendy, who a lot of people have not talked about because he's replaced Marcelo a lot this season. And you look at that defense, he's only had to make 66 saves, Thibaut Courtois. So really, I think it will be down to the manager. Give him credit, let him, milk this and lap this up for once, because it's brought them back to where, they didn't think about it. It was just like Ernesto Valverde for Barcelona. Drag them back into a situation where they can compete and become a very good team again.
Okay, let me read some comments. Adams Akoni says, Tony's not getting it right today. This is beefing now. Why? Real Madrid has been playing so well this season. Barcelona have been winning the title because Real Madrid always play to the gallery. I will give it to Zinedine Jari. Ayola says, Ramos, for me, has been important. I'm a Barcelona fan, but if not for VAR, that is helping Madrid, and their very, very poor Barcelona performance. Madrid has not played any serious fantastic games this season.
That's the point I was trying to make. Barcelona have been very, very poor. They don't have a coach. They have a man who's supposed to be, taking care of. My apologies to, if you're a nomadic Fulani man, my apologies to you. Well, you're coaching Barcelona.
Hello. Welcome to Football Live. Hello. All right. Anyway, let's go for this one. Chuku Cleverly says, I agree with Tony. Ramos has it for me. And this is another one, as Chuku says. Both Sergio Ramos and Benzema are under Zinedine's control. So Zinedine has been the most important man here. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Football Live. This is who?
Your line is not...
Sir, you would need to call us again. Your line is not so clear. We can't make out most of what you're telling us and what you're saying. All right. The game is still on there in England, talking about Burnley Sheffield. Still no goal seen in that encounter. It is still 0-0, 41 minutes gone. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon. This is Bayo from Bariga.
Your location is not needed. With the Brilla app, you can hear us anywhere in the world. So just your name is all we need.
But I think I will pick. I'm not picking side with Tony's analysis this afternoon because Biao is not really helping Real Madrid. That game he was talking about against Real Sociedad, it was the same thing that happened against Manchester United versus Everton game. That Sinsigossi was blocking the game and the ball went in, and Biao just thinking that it was no goal. That a player was blocking the defender. Same thing happened against Real Sociedad.
Well, what happened against Valencia? What happened against Valencia? Karim Benzema, was it that same game now? Yeah. You abused your hand, you said a shoulder. But you did the same thing. You talked Man U. Man U did the same thing yesterday. Man U got penalty.
It was a shoulder. It was a shoulder.
Eric Bailly yesterday was shoulder too. I'm not
a Real Madrid fan.
You are a Real Madrid fan.
I'm not a Real Madrid fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. But that was a shoulder. It was a shoulder. I watched the game. I really put the game last week. I watched it. The player was blocking Thibaut Courtois. That's why he could not see the ball. And Biao disallowed the goal.
Nobody was blocking Thibaut Courtois. That shot was like fire from outside.
The player was blocking Thibaut Courtois.
What about Valencia? What about the one they scored? What about the one Valencia scored against Real Madrid?
That was no good. That was no good.
After this small lockdown, if you see VAR, you just know, VAR is helping Real Madrid.
Yeah, to be fair, he's playing a mind game with all those things. That's why he's just switching his plays. He's switching players, he's switching on plays. So he's just playing a mind game with all those other things. It's not as if Real Madrid is so special or they are playing here. They're not really playing well. But Zenzi is playing a mind game with every other team he's playing with. We see what will happen today again. You see change play. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling us. Thank you. We'll go for more. This one is Collins Onyebuchi says, Zinedine always the best coach in Real Madrid, but I still think they miss Ronaldo. Let's go for another one. This is... Okay, let's go to Facebook Live. Remember, you can also drop your comments there. This is coming in from Johnson Akiade. He says, nice one, guys. And another comment from Bamidele. He says, La Liga doing everything to favor Real Madrid. Even from the fixture, you will understand that they just want this league in the hands of Real Madrid. Toybudin Adebote says, whichever way you look at it, Real Madrid has been doing a bit more to win their games. Both teams have not been exceptional, and of course he says though Anthony is correct in his analysis, but I think both teams are not spectacular. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
All
right, Anthony, welcome. Let's hear you.
I agree too.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead.
I want to talk about Madrid. That goal to go variations against Madrid is a pure goal. And so,
Listening. Oh, sorry, we lost your call. Sorry, eh? And let's go for some more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, so welcome. This is Football Live. What's your name?
Isaac is my name.
Isaac. All right. Please go ahead.
I'm good. From Liverpool, what do you call it? Real Madrid and Barcelona. A trophy is not made for one team. That's my belief. And it's through hard work. I really praise Real Madrid for this time around, that they are able to conquer that. It's been a long time. You people know now that they have not won this La Liga. So no matter the magic, so I believe it's their time now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Bobby Ukaigwe says, hello, Tony, FG and Oge. The most important player for Real Madrid is certainly Sergio Ramos. He's a leader, he's a defensive pillar, and also the commander in the team. And also a commander in the team. And he says, goal scorer, and he's also very consistent. So I'll give it to him as the most important player. All right, let's go for more calls. 07 000 889. Peter Meyer says Benzema for me has been it. Ramos has been captain fantastic in the heart of defense. I think I read this one earlier. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
A wonderful afternoon to beautiful lady Oge Chuko Kama.
Good afternoon.
Tony Beckett, Beremo, and FG.
Good afternoon.
We're great, thank you.
My name is Stephen John.
All right, Stephen.
I collaborate with Mr. Tony 100%. Madrid are doing well because Barcelona are simply very poor. I want to use this platform to apologize to Ernesto Valverde because I was one of those that were clamoring for his exit. Simply because we are not good when it comes to the Champions League, but when it comes to domestic stuff, we are getting it very well. But this section, no disrespect, I think he's better off as a farmer. Should go and continue taking care of his cows. Because I don't get it. I don't get it because it's really bad. And as the best and most important, it has to be Benzema because right for when there were 2 seconds, we were still trying to doing that. Before, what has made Ramos come out is the penalty. The VAR call and all of that, when it turns out to be a penalty, the one that sets it and it converts it. So for me, it has to be Benzema. Thank you and God bless you guys.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, a goal has been scored right there in the game between Burnley and Sheffield United. And of course, in the 43rd minute, that goal was scored by Tarkowski. And of course, it is 1-0. 1 goal for Burnley and 0 for Sheffield United.
I'm sure those pursuing European places will be very, very happy. Obviously, Burnley are also doing themselves some good because if they keep winning games, they may also qualify for the Europa League. But it's a good one there, Burnley. I think they've been doing well quietly. People are not really taking notice, and if they go on to preserve this scoreline, Burnley would be just behind Arsenal, and of course Sheffield will go tonight. Sheffield at some point we're looking at Champions League football and even Europa League football, but right now it's not looking too good for Sheffield United. They've been losing matches, and for Burnley, a good one there. They're just behind Liverpool in terms of clean sheets.
And of course, that's the situation. Halftime there, Burnley 1 and Sheffield United 0. Yes, that's the situation right there. We'll still take some reactions on Real Madrid. You can let us in on your views. 07000000889. Again, that's 07000000889. Who has been the most important for Real Madrid this term? Has it been the coach himself, Zinedine? Would you say is Sergio Ramos, or is it Benzema? Hello? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Football Live.
Good afternoon, OJ.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tony and Jason.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, February.
Yeah. Happy Sunday to you guys.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, do you on the line?
All right, Dozie.
Yeah, Tony, we will see on radio. They're giving us the cold hard truth.
I didn't go anywhere. I did here now. Which one is the miss me?
I don't miss you now. I don't meet you again.
Embrace the miss now.
Be missing your people.
I know that. See, seriously, looking at the Spanish La Liga this season, it's actually one of the worst coming from, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Nobody has done anything spectacular. And the truth is, I've been hearing all this talk about Real Madrid this, Real Madrid that. There's nothing special happening there. It's just the shambolic Barcelona we are having with their board and everything. And then if you look at Real Madrid, like Tony has said, everything just points to 3 points for Real Madrid. There's always a contentious VAR decision. There's always, favors or something. Everything. At the end of the day, Real Madrid gets the 3 points. And they have not done anything spectacular. Even during the past years, you won't have Real Madrid and Barcelona in this position they are in. Barcelona is worse off anyway. So Real Madrid are just, doing a little bit of the right thing here and there. I believe they will win the league at the end of the season anyway. But talking about their most important player, I think I will give it to Benzema.
Why?
Yeah. Not that he has done, like, just the way Tony said it, he has not done anything too spectacular. He's the regular Benzema. But he has been doing the right things at the right time. He's not the highest scorer in the league, he's not the highest assist, but he's part of the reason why they are where they are right now. Scoring important goals, scoring and giving important assists as well. So he has done his bit, especially without Ronaldo in the team, and they are first on the league. And he's having a very good season for himself too. For Sergio Ramos is always going to be an important player, with or without penalties. In fact, I believe Sergio Ramos has even had better seasons than this one in Real Madrid. So that's why I'm actually going to give this to Benzema, not Sergio Ramos. And then, of course, their coach is doing well, especially without his Ronaldo. He has proven that at least even without Ronaldo, he can still get the good. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's still get to hear from you. This is coming from Wanwuba Godson. It says, nice to follow up on you guys. Zinedine obviously has to get it. Then I can think of Ramos, Benzema, okay. And that's all. I'm just going to skip the rest. Fulfilled says Sergio Ramos, he's contributed. I think it's most important for them. And he has taken them to where they are today. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, welcome to Football Live. What's your name?
My name is Cyril.
Cyril, okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think we have to analyze what La Liga has done this season. I don't think the La Liga is fair. Because you unlike in the past, it used to be Madrid, Barcelona, almost having 100 points. Other teams have come up. They moved up to the beginning. And we also remember that the first half season, Madrid took over. Barcelona was about 8-9 points ahead of Madrid. That was when he just came and for the first time. And he was able to boost the gap to 1 point. Now he has come back. Last year, Madrid didn't do very well. So for a team to win the league, that team must perform poorly. Madrid didn't do well last year because we had a different coach and could not be the same. He came back, he's been able to study the shape. And that's why you see Madrid doing very well. Kudos to Zinedine Zidane without Ronaldo. They've been able to prove that as well, that they can do well without Ronaldo. I think it has to do with his game management. I don't think it has to do with whether La Liga is poor much. You understand? Now everybody is saying Premiership is good because Liverpool has won it. So, but look at the gap in Premiership, 20 points, which is not good. If you ask me, it's poor. So I think La Liga is more competitive this season. If you ask me.
Okay.
I think you've raised a very good point. But then if you go back to last season, we've had very close title races before. Last season in England, Liverpool, came very, very close. They maintained the momentum this season, and then Man City dropped off. If Man City had come with the template from last season, obviously we'd still have a title race up until the last day. La Liga Real Madrid might win La Liga maybe with one game to go, or even on the final day. That's how close the two have been. 74 points for Real Madrid, 70 for Barcelona. Both teams have been poor. For me, I think Barcelona has been worse off because maybe arrogance, maybe pride, maybe pressure from the fans. There was really no reason to fire Ernesto Valverde. If you're going to fire Ernesto Valverde, bring in a better coach. Otherwise, leave it.
You're right. You are very right about that. But I think the Ben will get. Actually, I'll give the Ben the credit.
Yes, great players make great coaches. Ramos, great player. Benzema, great player. And if those two are firing on all cylinders, Zidane obviously. Don't forget that there's an award for coaches. If they win, he should win the best coach in La Liga. There's no way say this Quique Setien will win it because he has not done anything.
That's true anyway. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for calling us. Thank you. Yes, we'll take our last few sets of calls on this talking point. I'm going to check out some tweets very soon so that I can also read from people on Twitter concerning this. And just like Tony said, I mean, if this actually goes down to the wire, to the very last game, I think Real Madrid has a better...
They have head-to-head, yes. Yeah. They took 4 points from the El Clasico games. Real Madrid will
win. Yeah.
So what is actually 4 points right now is technically 5 points. Real Madrid need to lose today and Barcelona win. They have a very difficult game. Playing against Villarreal. Villarreal has been showing some kind of form. And of course, Barcelona don't travel too well. Their away form is terrible. Real Madrid would hope playing at the San Mamés against Athletic Bilbao is also very, very difficult. Real Madrid somehow, if maybe Inaki Williams, for instance, bring his A game and then they do very well and beat Barcelona, because they played this game at 1 p.m. Barcelona would have seen the result. If the result is positive, probably they would, dig in.
To inspire them.
To inspire them against Villarreal. But all of that one is just,
medicine after death.
That's plenty of talk. That's plenty of talk on paper. All Real Madrid need to do is just keep winning. Keep winning. And for Barcelona, if they cannot reconcile their away form, because the game against Sevilla and against, of course, against Atletico Madrid was at home. If they are taking 3 points in that game, the 2 points they dropped against Sevilla wouldn't have mattered much. But then 4 points, and if they lose today, title race may just be over.
Okay, we'll take some calls. We'll take 2 more, and then we'll go straight up to our next talking point. 07 000 000 889. Again, that's 07 000 000 889. Hello and welcome. Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Tony Becker Jerome is here.
Sorry, I'm Tony Becker. I used to join the two of them together.
You are part of the gang that need cotton buds.
Don't mind. I used to join Anthony and always together. For me, there is nothing much about Madrid. Seriously, it's just the poor performance of Barcelona. Just the poor performance of Barcelona. Because there's nothing serious. They've been winning with the help of VAR, and that 3 points is just coming. Barcelona are just struggling. That's it, Sha. It's just their luck. Maybe God of football is in their side. But there's nothing to. For the best and Madrid, I'll give it to, let me just say Ramos, because he always come up to like give them what they want at that particular time, like the free kick, even me I was surprised, and then the penalties, you know, he always take it because he wants to score it. He's not maybe someone should go there and be doing one side. No, we need that goal, you know. So I'll give it to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, just saying that he's going to give it to him. But let's quickly read this comment, and then we'll give you the starting lineup for the game that is going to happen very soon. 1 p.m. is the kickoff, and of course, talking about the game between Athletic Bilbao and Real Madrid. Let's quickly take this tweet, and this one is coming in from. Okay, just to get that refreshed, and this is coming in from. Eitayo, yes, Eitayo. It says Etienne was clearly not this bad. Okay, Barcelona was clearly not this bad under Valverde, and he continues. He says Barcelona are wasting Messi's last year's Tony Beckham, and I know this, so but it still pain me. Izzy Olamide says, good afternoon. I think that Barcelona should take responsibility for these failings, for appointing their trainee coach, and happy belated birthday to the radio's anchor. All right, and this is Footy Jab. It says, I agree with Tony on this one. Real Madrid are profiting from Barcelona's downtime situation, and Madrid hasn't been spectacular at all this season.
Yes, thank you very much. I think some of the comments are on point. If you want to be honest, Barcelona are not too good, and their situation is worsened because of the terrible nature, the terrible CV of the kind of coach that they have. If you're coming to coach Barcelona, you should have something on your CV. If you've not played for Barcelona, which is obviously an excuse sometimes, and then Ernesto Quique Setien is in his 60s, if I'm not mistaken. He has not won anything in life.
Real quick, let me just roll out the starting lineup. And let's start off with the home team. Of course, Athletic Bilbao will be taking on Madrid in just a couple of minutes. In goal, you've got Simon, and also at the back is Berchiche. You also have Martinez, Alvarez, Kappa, and also in the midfield you've got Garcia, Lopez, Munian, and Cordoba, Garcia, and also Williams.
That's the man that wants to now score.
That's okay. And also for Real Madrid, Asensio, Benzema, Carvajal, you've got Casemiro, Thibaut Courtois, Marcelo, Militao, you've got Modric, Sergio Ramos, Rodrigo, and Valverde. Those are the 11 players that are actually starting off for Real Madrid. On the bench, you have Isco on the bench, Altuve, Areola, Bale on the bench, Diaz, Mariano, Xavi Hernandez, Jovic, Cruz, you've got Lucas, and also Mendy. Vinicius also on the bench for Real Madrid. On the bench for Bilbao, Balenciaga, De Marcos, Herien, you've got Ibia, Codro.
Sorry, did I hear Balenciaga?
That's too much sauce. Yes, and also you've got Leque, Nunes, Sunset, San Jose, Vesgas, and Villa Libre. Those are the players on the bench that will start off from the bench for this game. Athletic Bilbao versus Real Madrid, and it has gotten started already right there. So we'll be keeping you updated. Let's quickly take a break, and of course on the flip side we'll take a look at Barcelona. Bayern Munich rather.
Here it comes. It's your champions. Rila FM, while others wish they were. Rila FM, a complete deal.
Here are your latest Barcelona headlines. I'm Aidan Perkins. We'll start with plenty of speculation about Lionel Messi's future at the Nou Camp. there's been heightened speculation in the past few days that Messi has decided that he wants to leave Barca next year. Reports in Spain from a few influential journalists have suggested that Messi has informed Barca that he wants out in 2021 when his current contract expires, and the fact that he's now aged 33, it's being claimed that the Argentina superstar sees the opportunity to finish his career elsewhere after, of course, spending his whole glittering career up to date at the Nou Camp. And now former Barca president Sandro Rosell is worried about Messi exiting. Speaking to ESPN, he said, if Messi leaves Barcelona, it will be very complicated for the club. Everything has to change in terms of the formation and the style of play on the pitch, but also how the club works behind the scenes and the market aspects. I hope, he said, Messi stays at the club for a lot of years to come because there is no replacement for him. There is no other player like him who exists. Elsewhere, news on the transfer front, and Barca are interested in re-signing Eric Garcia from Manchester City this summer. That's according to reports. The 19-year-old arrived at City from the Blaugrana's youth system in 2017, but has not enjoyed a lot of first-team action at City. He's featured just 13 games this season and started 4 games in the Premier League. He is being viewed as a long-term successor to Gerard Piqué at Barcelona if a deal can be agreed this summer that would see him return back to the Nou Camp. Finally then, Barca in action on Sunday as they look to keep pace with Real Madrid, or keep in touch at least with Real Madrid at the top of the La Liga table. Barca's recent 2-2 draws with both Celta Vigo and Atletico Madrid has handed Real the initiative in the title race. They're 4 points clear with Barca in second. Barca go to Villarreal. Real also in action when they take on Athletic Bilbao. That's all for now. We'll have more later.
Rila FM, a complete deal.
Check it out, y'all. Alright, that was pretty good.
Rila FM, always on the ball.
Live, our proof. Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM has gone beyond one league.
Football Line.
Be part of the biggest football package on radio. Football Live on Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM. Send your comments now to our Facebook fan page, Sports Radio Brilla FM. Our Twitter handle at Brilla FM 889 with the hashtag Football Live, or email footballlive@brillafm.net. Hurry now, send your comments and be heard.
Football Line. Football Line. Football Line. Football Line.
All right, Sports Radio 88.9 Brilla FM, and of course, just have to give you a little bit of team news on Barcelona, and we are right back at it. Yes, of course, the game has continued in that Burnley match against Sheffield United, and also we told you earlier before we went for the break that the game has kicked off. 5 minutes in, Athletic Bilbao versus Real Madrid. We'll join FJ for some more stats on the games.
Yes, quickly let's go to what's going on at San Mamés. The Nuevo San Mamés between Athletic Bilbao and Real Madrid. Already in the first 5 minutes, ball possession for Real Madrid 60%. They've taken a shot already, and of course that shot was on target. They've made 29 passes already in the opening sequences, and they're looking very smooth. 25 of those 29 passes have been accurate. They've attempted 3 long balls already, and of course 2 have been successful. They've lost possession 6 times, and they've lost all the duels, as they've won all the duels and the tackles they've been involved in as well. Over in England, in that game at Turf Moor between long ball Burnley and hard-working Sheffield United, Sheffield have outplayed Burnley in every statistic except from shots on target, offside.
Those are the most important statistics.
Yeah. Shots on target.
The scoreline.
The scoreline.
Is the most important.
The scoreline, shots on target. You talk about that. You talk about the goals scored as well, because Burnley have taken the lead in that fixture. And of course, you also talk about counter-attacks, long balls. That's where I was going. What's a long ball statistic without Burnley leading that one? They've attempted 43 long balls. 23 of them have been successful. Ironically, Sheffield United have also attempted 43 long balls, but only 20 have gotten to the destination point. And of course, in terms of clearances, Burnley have made 18 clearances compared to Sheffield's 7. In all the other metrics, you talk about ball possession, Sheffield United leads that one. Total shots, Sheffield United, 8 shots, only 1 have been on target. Talk about wayward finishing. A little bit like Wolves yesterday in that game against Arsenal. Of course, shots off target 3, blocked shots 4, corner kicks 6. And of course, none of them have been converted. Burnley don't have any corner yet. And of course, you talk about fouls, 6 apiece. Big chances missed. 2 big chances missed from Sheffield, 1 from Burnley. 6 shots inside the box, 2 from outside the box. The goalkeeper from Sheffield has made 2 saves, 242 passes to 228. And of course, you talk about dribbles. There have been 100% dribble completions for Sheffield, only 67% for Burnley.
Okay, let's remind you also that we'll be joining our UK studios from 2:30. We'll be joining Bobby Jackson and of course Warren Ashort to continue on Football Live. But of course we're going to Bundesliga. Let's take a look at the guys who are celebrating. Yes, they completed a double last night with the DFB Pokal victory against Leverkusen, and of course they completed a turnaround for the Hansi Flick's men, who were of course adrift off the the Bundesliga title and had not actually convinced in the cup when he actually took charge. And of course Bayern have gone on their longest unbeaten run since, which has culminated in a double domestic double that they've achieved thus far. And of course they hold a 3-0 advantage into their second leg against Chelsea in the Champions League. Someone who actually was the man who won it for Liverpool last season is saying that Bayern and Manchester City are the favorites. The Jurgen Klopp believes that Bayern are actually favorites to win the Champions League alongside Manchester City. But we need to find out from you, can Bayern Munich, can they complete the treble in August? Tony, do you think they can?
Yeah, I think so. I agree 100% with Jurgen Klopp. There's one game, I know Chelsea fans will not like what I'm about to say, but that game, I'm happy that game will be played sometime in August. Chelsea will not see the ending of that film. Bayern versus Chelsea. I personally want to see it.
Well, you've used your crystal ball and you've projected into the future.
No, they beat them. Bayern beat Chelsea. They beat Chelsea in the return leg. Is that what you want to hear? They beat Chelsea. Whether or not they go on to lift the Champions League, it's a difficult ask, but they have what it takes. Since they fired Niko Kovac and then brought in Flick, I think it's been doing very, very well. And when it looked like Borussia Dortmund were going to do something, they cut them down to size and beat them, in the Classica. You look at the teams remaining in the Champions League, those ones that have qualified. I don't think Atletico Madrid will win it. I don't think Atalanta will win it. I don't think RB Leipzig will win it. Paris Saint-Germain, I think they look very, very strong. These 4 teams that have qualified, I think Paris Saint-Germain look the strongest. Man City and Real Madrid is still finely poised. And of course, Real Madrid want to test the resolve of Man City. Man City have already done the hard part, which was to beat Real Madrid pre-lockdown 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. I expect Guardiola to finish the job. He's talked about the FA Cup and how the FA Cup would serve as a dress rehearsal. Don't take it away. We saw what happened a few days ago when they met Liverpool. Maybe it was anger, frustration from the Chelsea game, but they took it on Liverpool and then they beat them. I just wonder what they will do to Arsenal when they meet them in the semi-finals of the FA Cup and use that one to warm up for Real Madrid. Barcelona with Setien does not inspire any form of confidence, although they are in a fine place. 1-1 from the first leg against Napoli, a goalless draw. How many times do you see Barcelona play goalless draw, Seth? So whether they will win is, I do not know. But
because you don't know which one.
I don't know the kind of Barcelona that will show up. But you look at the teams left. I think for me, Bayern look very, very good. Except something happens to some of their key players. Before lockdown, the hope was that Lewandowski was not going to be fit enough or was going to miss the game. But Lewandowski is still very, very fit, firing on all cylinders, and obviously he'll be licking his lips going into that game. So I think that Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, and Man City, those 3, one should win the Champions League. Bayern will be my number 1.
So PSG, Man City are still contenders, is what you're saying.
You know why they're contenders. From the quarterfinal stage, they'll be playing tournament format. No home, no away. They'll be in Portugal, so anybody can win. The PSG side is very, very good. Once Kylian Mbappe gets his mojo on, Neymar gets his mojo on, those two alone, once they can make something happen, and then you mix it with Mario Icardi and what's it, the other one, Edison Cavani, they have rested. They cancelled the French league, so this it may work against them, but they are resting and they are thinking of only this game alone. Okay. So that one alone is a factor. Don't make any mistake. They've not had it this good. From the quarterfinals, they've been playing at a neutral venue. PSG has beaten Bayern before. PSG has beaten Real before. PSG can beat Man City. PSG can beat Atletico Madrid on a very, very good day. They can beat Barcelona. They have beaten Barcelona before, beat them 4-0. So don't think that this Bayern number one, PSG and Man City. One of those three I expect to win the Champions League.
All right, so your favorites, do you think Bayern Munich can actually complete the treble? Can they win the Champions League? Klopp says that Bayern and City are favorites.
I'll go one step further than Radio Zanko has gone. PSG are going to win the Champions League.
Wow.
That's just the truth. They will win the quadruple. They will sweep every trophy. And the truth is, the stars have aligned in their favor. And I'll say why. They've got a cup final 2 weeks before the Champions League. They've got 2 cup finals, in fact, 2 weeks before the Champions League returns. They have 2 cup finals to prepare for a tournament-style format where they have players who are built for tournament-style formats. They have a coach that is built for a tournament-style format. They have a system that's built for a tournament-style format. In the sense that you look at Kylian Mbappe, the precedence is there. You already see it. Kylian Mbappe is a tournament guy. You saw him with France at the World Cup in 2018. You saw Neymar with Brazil at the World Cup. You saw him at the Olympics, twice. And then you look at the likes of Mauro Icardi, the likes of Edinson Cavani, who's won. We saw him at the 2014 World Cup. We saw him in 2010. We saw him in 2018. That was when he came off. That was when Uruguay could not get past France in the quarterfinals. You're talking about a lot of tournament-style players in this team. And you talk about a manager whose system, the way he's got that team playing, it's got them playing like a Champions League team. So it's aligned in their favor. And Bayern Munich, as good as they are, as much as Hansi Flick's men are a tournament side as well, because that's just the truth. Bayern are a tournament side. When you say a team is a team that can play just one game, straight knockout, everything, they know that the world is at stake. As much as I think Bayern could get to the semi-final, I don't see them winning it, because they have to get past Paris Saint-Germain or Man City. I do not see, I'm sorry to say this, Barcelona fans might come for me. I don't see Barcelona getting past Napoli in the round of 16, the way it is at the moment. I do not see them getting past Napoli simply because they do not have the system or the coach to facilitate it. We all celebrated the most Cruyffist of all Cruyff coaches when he was appointed at Barcelona. That's Quique Setien. And yes, but I do not see them getting past Napoli. Napoli have played 6 big games since the lockdown ended. Since Gattuso came, they've played 8. They've only lost 1 away at Atalanta. They're going to Barcelona. They're going to a team that has sold its best ball-playing midfielder. They're going to play against a team that the only hope is okay to Messi and hope that something good happens. Napoli are too good and too coordinated for that. So I don't see Barcelona, and Barcelona are the biggest threat to any of the rest of the team. Yeah, everyone will talk about Juventus, but Lyon also have they have 2 months to prepare, and they have a cup final as well. They will play PSG in the Coupe de la Ligue final, the Coupe de France final. The Coupe de la Ligue will see PSG play Saint-Etienne. So Lyon have 2 games to prepare for Juventus and a lot of friendlies. So I don't see Barcelona, I don't see Juventus. Bayern Munich semi-final, yes. But Manchester City and PSG, and the truth is, the only thing that will stop PSG from winning this Champions League is if Man City get to the final. If they get to the final, you know for sure Pep is going to win. But I just don't see either Bayern Munich or Man City stopping PSG.
Okay, we'll take some calls. 07000000889. FJ has categorically said PSG are going to win, but as long as they avoid Manchester City in the finals of the Champions League. So it means Bayern Munich will not be getting a treble in August. That's what he says. And also, Tony says that he believes that Bayern can actually do it. Bayern are the favourites to him, and then Man City and PSG. Hello.
Good afternoon, AJ.
Welcome to Football Live. What's your name?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
From the argument, all the topics discussing, I want to pick out PSG and Man City. Ever since PSG has started spending money with the intention of winning the Champions League and Man City, every season they come with this high expectation. Generally, here and there we say, I take them to win, I take them to win. But at this crucial stage, I do, you see them get embarrassed and knocked out. Not be surprised when City, Real Madrid, another people will turn up that day and beat them at the Etihad. So I don't think either of Man City or PSG. I think one of the traditional sides, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, that have won it before, I think one of them still edgy. Those are the strength they had in the Spain and all. Maybe other factor that will favor them. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. 07000000889. More calls. Yes, indeed. And of course, it's been 17 minutes gone already into that game. Athletic Bilbao, Real Madrid. It is still goalless. And of course, we are going to get another reaction to the Bayern topic. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
My name is Emeka.
All right, Emeka. Go ahead.
Let me send my greetings to Tony. Tony, how you doing?
I'm fine, Emeka. Good afternoon.
FJ, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Let me go straight to the point. For me, I think Bayern has a very great opportunity to make this a trouble for them. And I'm emphasis on great opportunity because the Champions League in August is going to be a tournament format. And you can see that Robert Lewandowski is in the form of his life. He has scored up to 50 goals so far this season. And something tells me that he wants this Champions League medal to be added to his own cabinet of trophies. He was so close to doing that a couple of years ago while at Dortmund. I'm not sure he's going to allow this opportunity to pass him by. So, Bayern are very much dominant so far. They just won DFB Poker yesterday. And they have just the entire month of July to rest, re-strategize, and plan for August. You know? Yes, PSG have not been active since the cancellation of the League On season. But I don't think they're a match to Bayern. Despite the fact that when it comes to team units and team chemistry, you have to give it to PSG. But when it comes to winning mentality of the Champions League, you have to give it to Bayern. And I think Bayern will be more consistent with that compared to PSG. Manchester City, on the other hand, they are great. They're favorites. But the only issue here is Guardiola will have to meddle with the FA Cup competition together with the Champions League. And remember, I heard that the verdict will be coming up on the 13th of this month regarding to their Champions League status come next season. So Guardiola would like to make a statement, but I'm not sure this team is a match to either PSG or even Man City. So when it comes to treble, it's a possibility. It's a clear-cut possibility. And since it's a tournament format, you have to give it to Bayern. Bayern have been very dominant in the Bundesliga. They have been very dominant. They have won 20 domestic trophies in the space of how many seasons, and that 13th consecutively. So which is fantastic. All right. So I'm giving it to Bayern, and I'm giving it to Lewandowski because he wants to make a statement on August.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's quickly get some more stats on the Real Madrid game from FJ.
Yes, it's been a slugfest, and it's been more of the same. When I say slugfest, it's not inspirational. It's just being one of those games where we've been trying to get along, and of course that's just the reality of Real Madrid this season. Nothing spectacular, nothing phenomenal, just the same workaholic and just random performances. They've had 64% of possession today, but they've not done too much with the ball. 3 shots, of course, 1 on target. Athletic Bilbao, 36% possession, 2 shots, 1 on target. Bilbao been caught offside once, and of course you talk about big chances, just 1 big chance, which is a clear-cut chance, and it's been missed as well. They've had just 1 shot inside the box. They've resorted to 2 opportunities from range. They've had 160 passes, which is twice the number of passes from Athletic Bilbao. They've had 138 accurate passes. They've attempted 17 long balls, and only 8 have gotten to their destination, 47% of that. They've attempted 7 dribbles, the regular suspects, Asensio, as well as Rodrigo Guedes, and of course, of the 7 dribbles they've attempted, only 2 has been successful. So really, they're trying very hard, but they've lost possession 30 times, which is also worrying for Zinedine Zidane. And of course, in terms of interceptions, they've only made 2. And of course, relative to Bilbao's 1, Bilbao had 6 tackles to 4. They've won 11 duels. Real Madrid have won 8. And of course, 3 aerial duels won for Athletic Club Bilbao. And of course, for Real Madrid, they've only won 1 aerial duel. Not so good performances all around. The likes of Karim Benzema, they're hiding at the moment. Rodrigo Guedes, Marcelo, they've not had a good game. It's been the likes of Casemiro, of course, shining on the field as usual. Casemiro probably one of the most unheralded and celebrated players as far as Real Madrid is concerned. At Turf Moor, Sheffield United is still knocking on the door after 67 minutes. And of course, just like I said, still Burnley are winning just in 4 metrics. The goals scored in terms of long balls attempted, counter-attacks and clearances.
Wow. Wow. Okay, we'll still get more reactions. Dominic, thank God, on Facebook Live says, yes, I think that Bayern can get the treble in August because of the kind of form that they have right now. Bobby Ukaigwe says, well, I think that Bayern Munich, he says, I think that Bayern Munich will win the treble. There is no team in the Champions League that I can think of who has a better chance than Bayern right now. And of course, Peter Meyer says, well, they can. I think that they are the best, they're in the best position to do that. But Madrid are coming back, and Barcelona, another team. But we all know that Barcelona aren't in the right frame of mind right now for La Liga, talk less of the Champions League. PSG is another contender, but still inexperienced in that area for now. This is Inyobong Gotoyo, and he says, a big yes for me. I think that Bayern are actually very great contenders, but it's could also go either way. It could be very unpredictable too. Emmanuel Okedigun says, I don't see PSG or Manchester City winning the UEFA Champions League. Bayern Munich all the way. Okay, let's go. Hello. Hello.
Hello, brother.
Yes, welcome to Football Live. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Ozioma.
Ozioma, nice to speak with you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking about Champions League favorites, I think Bayern Munich are very, very, very odd on to win the league. A lot of people rule out Real Madrid. I wonder why. They see Manchester City are the favorites to win the league. And they've not gone past Real Madrid. Madrid are in blazing form at the moment. And PSG, no. They're not even allowed to train at the moment. I don't see how they will get in form quick enough to play a one-legged tie. So I think Atletico Madrid, in fact, they knocked out the champions, are even more favorites than Paris Saint-Germain to win the Champions League. But the odds on for me is Bayern Munich, as well as they've got everything taken for them at the moment. 26 games are beaten for the first time in their history, and drawing only 1 match in that period. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, that is some Champions League format at the moment. I think they'll be the ones to win the Champions League. Thank you.
Thank you. It says Atletico even have a better chance than PSG. All right, we'll take some more reactions. We're going to be reading also from Facebook. Let's read some comments right there before we get back to more calls. Ezechuku says, hello guys, yes, 90% possibility for Bayern to win the treble this season. They can beat any team in the Champions League since Liverpool are already out. And of course, with Sané, Lewandowski and Gnabry, these 3 guys are the deadly trio, and I think they are favourites to win the Champions League. Kazim Olalekon says it's funny how no one is singing the praises that he's done amazingly well this season. Okay, who? Alaba says yes, possibly as far as now, double champions. And I think they would have everything to focus on the Champions League. Zico OJ says Bayern versus Manchester City in the final. City will win the Champions League this season. Ahmad OG with his comment, and he says they are really the clear favourites to win the Champions League, so it's possible for them to win a treble. Malam Yakub, he says definitely they are in the best form right now, and these tallies are very good. Lewandowski is also the best in Europe currently, in the best form of his life. Messi and Ronaldo will need to win the UEFA Champions League to overtake him for the Ballon d'Or. For me, at the moment, Lewandowski is the GOAT, point man. Let's go for Isaac Munich, and he says Bayern, based on form, is favourites to win it this season. All things being equal, no team is able to stand the quartet of Muller, Lewandowski, Gnabry, and Coman. Okay, let's get some more calls. 07 000 889. Hello. Hello. All right, so without a doubt, if Bayern actually wins, if they win the Champions League, does it mean that Lewandowski should win the Ballon d'Or?
Yes, based on the metric and the way that the Ballon d'Or has gone in recent years, it's all been goals, goals, and more goals. I think Lewandowski has been the best player in the world in 2020. Since 2019, he scored more goals than games for Bayern Munich and Poland in 2019-2020, and he's been ahead of the rest. He scored 34 goals in the Bundesliga. He's currently the leader in the race for the European Golden Shoe, and you look at him, he scored 49 goals in 45 matches this season for Poland and Bayern Munich. And you look at some of the performances, you look at the fact that he's been vintage, he's been class. You saw him in the Champions League, you saw him in the DFB Pokal. You see how he scores goals and how decisive he has been for the club. If you take away Lewandowski's goal from Bayern, I think you definitely begin to... Yeah, I think you definitely begin to see a team that is not as phenomenal as we think they are. So yes, I think Lewandowski should win the Ballon d'Or. In fact, I'm rooting for him more than anything, but the reality is, if there's any player that can edge Lewandowski this year in terms of the Ballon d'Or, a lot of people might say it's too early, it's Kylian Mbappe, and that will come down to the Champions League as well. So I think the Champions League could be the metric that does it. Whoever wins the Champions League in terms of his contributions to the team, Lewandowski or Kylian Mbappe.
All right, so Tony, you think so too?
Yes, I agree 100%. Most times you look at those that win the Ballon d'Or, domestically there's something they have to show for, and internationally, when you look at the European continent, there's also something to show for. For Kylian Mbappe, major honors have been bagged. For Robert Lewandowski, major honors have also been bagged, and they are waiting for only one thing now, which is the UEFA Champions League. He leads the tally, not just in Europe, even in the world. Nobody has scored more, goals for club this season than Robert Lewandowski. So let's see how it takes. He has scored the regular candidates in Cristiano Ronaldo and, of course, Lionel Messi. If Barcelona don't win the Champions League and obviously don't win at the La Liga, that rules out. They've lost out in the Copa del Rey. That means you don't expect Lionel Messi, except they do some sort of trick. You don't expect Lionel Messi to make anything happen. Of course, Juventus have lost the Coppa Italia. They may go on to win the Scudetto. But of course, Ronaldo is not looking like the Ronaldo of old. It will be like rigging an election to suddenly give Ronaldo the title. But let's see what Ronaldo can do between now and the remainder of the Champions League. They still have the small matter of Olympique Lyonnais, 1-0 from the first leg. They have to tie that game on aggregate and go on to win it and see if they can knock out any of the...
Do they even still stand a chance?
No, they do. They're going to host Lyon. The most dangerous scoreline in football is 1-0. It can be cancelled at any time. And once they get their own goal, it becomes 1-1 on aggregate. Go on to get another goal, it becomes 2-1 on aggregate, and of course they will be in the quarterfinals. So Robert Lewandowski is in a good place. The only thing that can stop Robert Lewandowski at this point in time will be an injury. if he suffers an injury and then goes on to miss out, their return leg against Chelsea and the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and indeed if they reach the final, he goes on to miss out. There may be question marks, but right now I think it's in front of the queue. That's not to say that other things cannot happen. Bernardo Silva last season was very, very vital for Manchester City. At the end, he did not even smell it.
Even for Portugal.
So let's just keep our fingers crossed. But then he's a very, very good candidate. Not a very, very popular candidate, but of course a good candidate. The big guns can still make it happen. Ronaldo can, weave his magic. Lionel Messi obviously can weave his magic. But if things remain like this, I think he should get it.
Okay, let's take a few more calls on this one. 07000000889. Again, that's 07000000889. And yes, I'm going to get a few more updates on the games going on in just a bit from FJ, but we'll take some more reactions. Hello? Hello, welcome to Football Live. What's your name?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes.
Hello?
Welcome to Football Live. What is your name, please?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel.
All right, Emmanuel, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Go on, no.
Okay. And you people are ruling out Real Madrid. So Real Madrid can come and still do their wonders and carry this cup. Forget that Madrid they won them 2-1. Doesn't understand this game of football. It doesn't judge. During that time they were playing that ball, they were not in form. But now you see now they have peak form. So Real Madrid can come now and do their wonders and carry this cup. Concerning of Atletico also, Atletico beats the people that hold it. Concerning Liverpool, my club. So you pass also maybe this might be their chance. They have gone to final several times. So you can see you don't have to be saying Man City and what is it called, PSG, and forgetting life of Atletico and what is it called, Real Madrid. Okay. They have been there. This is their league. So don't rule them out. Anything can happen, possibility here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, FJ.
Yeah, it is already, they've taken the water break at San Mamés, at the Nuevo San Mamés. 35 minutes have been played in that one. And of course, Real Madrid still leading in the possession statistics. They're 62% of the possession right there. And of course, 4 shots total have been taken. And of course, 3 of them have been off target as well. And of course, you look at the fact that the passes have been played, 214 passes from Real Madrid. And of course, you talk about long balls. Bilbao leading that metric in terms of 11 successful long balls played. In terms of dribbles attempted, Real Madrid have completed 36% of their dribbles. And of course, in terms of possession lost, Real Madrid have lost possession 44 times in that fixture. It's still a drab encounter. It's a slugfest, but it is still 0-0 right there. At Turf Moor in England, Burnley against Sheffield United, Dwight McNeil has just blazed an opportunity, of course, fired it straight. Dean Henderson, the on-loan Manchester United goalkeeper, was swift to stop him at that particular point. Of course, Dean Henderson earlier this week was telling Manchester United he wasn't coming back to be second fiddle. Of course, by the time Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sees that save that he just pulled from Dwight McNeil, he definitely knows he means business. Currently, of course, Burnley have managed to do better, and they are now leading Sheffield United in key metrics like goals, shots on target, total shots played, of course, as well as offsides, long balls and clearances. At least they've done better now. They've added to the 4 that they had before. But for Sheffield, they're still in charge of possession, in charge of blocked shots, 54% possession. They've had 2 big chances that they've blown away. And of course, in terms of long balls, of course, just like I said, they've only completed 37% of them, which is quite not surprising, because when you're playing against a team that has Ben Mee, the likes of Tarkowski, the likes of Kevin Long, the likes of Charlie Taylor and Phil Bartley, you're definitely going to have to sweat to get those long balls in the box. So it is still Burnley 1, Sheffield United 0.
Okay, a few more reactions before we switch over to Arsenal. Yes, Emmanuel Okedigun says, I don't see PSG or Manchester City winning the UEFA Champions League. Bayern all the way. Daniel Ugochukwu says, I see PSG winning the Champions League. And this is Nabadi. He says, Bayern all the way. Daniel Ugochukwu says, I see PSG winning the Champions League because Chelsea is going to make a comeback over Bayern and surprise us all. Eddie Morsi says, Bayern winning the Champions League. I think it's possible, but certainly not going to be easy with the new formation of one-legged affair. They stand a chance above the remaining teams. Stephen John says, I don't agree with Tony Beckham on PSG's standing a chance to win because their league has ended a long time ago. By so doing, their players will be match rusty. So for me, I think Bayern will end up. That was FJ saying that PSG are going to win, actually, not Tony. We'll take a break, and on the flip side, we'll take a look at Aubameyang. Stay tuned.
Rila FM, what others wish they were. Rila FM, a complete deal.
Here are your latest Manchester City headlines. I'm James Mason. City have reportedly agreed personal terms with Napoli defender Kalidou Koulibaly ahead of a potential €80 million deal. The club are said to present firm transfer plans for the near future that are independent of the fate of City's cash appeal in regards to the UEFA Champions League ban. Funds will be made available to Pep Guardiola for an important rebuilding process, even in a worst-case scenario, a news that will reassure City fans. Most important, however, is the specific claim that City have already concluded all the personal details of Koulibaly's move to the Premier League. All that remains is a fee to be agreed with Napoli. It is said that the Italian club want €80 million and are already looking for a replacement for the Senegal defender. Meanwhile, Barcelona are reportedly in talks with City over a move to bring Eric Garcia back to the Camp Nou this summer. The 19-year-old is Barca's top target to strengthen their defence, and they are in negotiations with Guardiola's side. Garcia is actually out of contract at the end of next season and will be available as a free agent, but Barca are in a rush and want to sign him now. And finally, John Stones could be offered an escape route to ex-club Everton from his Man City misery. The 26-year-old will reportedly consider his options this summer, having become City's fifth-choice centre-back, and is thought to be open to a return to Goodison Park. A potential return to Goodison Park for Stones could involve a swap deal with Mason Holgate also interested City. That's all for now. We'll have one later.
Rila FM, a complete deal.
This is the home of sport. Sports Radio, 88.9, Rila FM.
Football Line. Football Line.
Be part of the biggest football package on radio. Football Live on Sports Radio 88.9 Rila FM. Send your comments now to our Facebook fan page, Sports Radio Rila FM. Our Twitter handle at Rila FM 889 with the hashtag Football Live or email footballlive@rilafm.net. Hurry now, send your comments and be heard.
Football Line. Football Line. Football Line. Football Line.
Okay, Sports Radio 88.9 Rila FM, Football Live here, and of course still taking a look at things. Things have actually changed right there in the game between Burnley and Sheffield United. FJ, what's going on?
Okay, it's quite a shocking one right there that Burnley get to concede from a set piece. Remember those long ball metrics I was talking about there as far as Burnley were concerned? They attempted the 71st long ball into the box, and of course it happened to be the successful one. 41% success rate right now, because Sander Berg played that one in. It was flicked on by Billy Sharp, and John Egan fired into the bottom right corner to give them the equalizer. It's 1-1 after 84 minutes at Turf Moor. At the moment, as it is, Sheffield United have leapfrogged Burnley back into 8th place. Of course, the faint hopes of a place in Europe right there, part of the reason why the two teams are going topsy-turvy in this fixture. Really, really interesting one. We can't wait to see how the last 5 minutes thereabout pans out. Dwight McNeil missed a guilty opportunity just before that goal. And, you know, they say that goals change games whenever they scored. This one has already changed the course of the game and probably the course of the campaign as far as both teams are concerned. Over at the Sports Direct Arena, St James's Park, Of course, in about 30 minutes, half an hour from now, Newcastle United take on West Ham. And of course, the starting lineups are in as far as the two teams are concerned. Newcastle United currently 12th place. If they win today, they will leapfrog Tottenham into 10th. And of course, West Ham fighting for dear life as far as their league status is concerned. Martin Dubravka starts in goal. In defense, you've got Javier Manquillo alongside Kiko Fernandez, the captain, Jamal Assays, as well as Emil Kraft. In midfield, Isaac Aydin, Jojo Shelby, Joelinton, Miguel Almiron, and Alain Saint-Maximin play behind Dwight Gale. And of course, in terms of West Ham, Lucas Fabianski starts in goal today. They're coming off that 3-2 victory against Chelsea. Can they ride on the crest of the wave? Ryan Fredericks, Issa Diop, Angelo Bunda, and Aaron Cresswell start in defense. In midfield, Thomas Soucek, Declan Rice, who skippers today, plays alongside Manuel Lanzini, Pablo Fornals, and Jarrod Bowen. And Mikel Antonio start alone up top for the Hammers. It's Newcastle, it's West Ham. It's a fight for survival. It's a fight for Europe, and of course a fight for more money as far as Premier League finishing is concerned. And of course it's also the game where we see one of the youngest Premier League captains make his debut, make his bow, Declan Rice, at St. James's Park.
All right, and still nothing changed here in the Real Madrid game against Bilbao.
Yeah.
And would you say that it's looking unlikely that the first half might end without a goal?
Yes, there's been a lot of Real Madrid games that have been this way. Especially since the lockdown has ended, quite a huge number as far as Real Madrid are concerned. The first half against Getafe was goalless, Espanyol goalless, against RCD Mallorca as well goalless. So it's kind of a trend that Real Madrid will go into the first half. They're not good in the first half. They are more of a second half team, especially since the lockdown ended. And they've shown that progress. Against Valencia, it was scoreless at half time. In fact, in all the games post-lockdown, I don't think there's any they scored in the first half. They scored all the goals in the second half. So more or less the first half is to assess the game, and then they go harder and faster in the second half. It's just the way they've always played under Zidane when they won the Champions League as well. The tripleta, it was almost in a similar scenario. So maybe they just, as usual, they're keeping their energies for the second half.
Okay, let's go on to our talking point. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, yes, has reportedly demanded a 3-year deal that is worth £250,000 a week to actually stay back at the Emirates. And of course, the Gabonese is on the other side of 30, and of course, he has reached 50 goals faster than any other Arsenal player when he netted a brace against Norwich. And it is his last shot as a big payday, or just to win trophies, with only 2 trophies won in his senior competitive career. And so we must ask, should Aubameyang stay at Arsenal, FJ?
First and foremost, it's about the player, so we're not talking about the club. So Arsenal fans, look away or turn your hair away, because what I'm going to say is going to be quite brutal.
Strictly about the player.
The player,
yeah. Okay.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has won just 3 professional trophies in his career. The DFB Pokal, the DFL Super Cup, and the Coupe de la Ligue. He's 31. In terms of international accolades, individual accolades, he's won a lot of individual accolades. Ligue 1 Player of the Year, UNFP Ligue 1 Team of the Year, CAF Team of the Year, Marc Vivien Prize, Bundesliga Player of the Year, African Footballer of the Year, top scorer of the season, Premier League Golden Boot. He's going to probably win the Golden Boot this season again with the way things are going. But, you look at that, I think Aubameyang needs to leave because he needs to win trophies. The question now is, which club is he going to be, will he be able to command any big club? Manchester United are reportedly rumoured and are interested. If Man United get Aubameyang, he's probably the missing piece for them in terms of goal scoring. If Man United have a striker of Aubameyang, we could be talking about a real title challenge next season, and probably a couple of trophies. We've seen them this season already. If he goes to Liverpool, he definitely is going to win trophies. Aubameyang will definitely, and this is without a doubt, will walk into any starting XI in any of Europe's top 5 leagues, in any big team in the world. So he definitely has them at his beck and call. We're talking about a player who's just like Robert Lewandowski. He needs to win trophies. And if that is the case, I don't think Arsenal is the place where he's going to do that. Arsenal, yes, they're work in progress. Arsenal have been a work in progress for over 4 seasons now.
So he needs an established team he can move to that can guarantee trophies.
Yes, that can guarantee trophies. And yes, I understand the fact that he now knows that, see, okay, if I'm going to stay at Arsenal and I'm not going to win trophies, then
it's about the money.
I have to get the money. And you look at the highest earning players in the Premier League, and you look at the players who earn more than Aubameyang, and you're looking at the contributions to the team. Apart from David De Gea, Kevin De Bruyne, and maybe Paul Pogba, the rest of the players who earn higher than Aubameyang are almost on the same level as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's won 19 points for Arsenal this season. Mo Salah has only won 10 for Liverpool. Sergio Kun Aguero has won 10 points for Manchester City. Anthony Martial has won 9 points for Manchester United. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has won 19. You look at the chasm. Currently, he earns less than Alexander Lacazette. Lacazette earns £182,000. He's not even asking for double his wages. He's asking for just £100,000 increase. So, which means he's already looked at it and he's weighed the options that, look, if a big move doesn't come, then it's better I get paid. And for me, I think Aubameyang should leave. But if he's going to stay, then Arsenal really even have to double his wages. 250 is not enough. Give him 300k and let him keep winning the points. He's done something. Thierry Henry, Ian Wright. You look at all the world-class forwards Arsenal have had. Robin van Persie has done what they couldn't do in 76 games. So I think he will be worth every penny if Arsenal decide to pay him that money. But for his own sake, the player's sake, I'm talking from his point of view. Aubameyang, pack your bags, leave the Emirates.
Time to move. So is it time for Aubameyang to move to another club, Tony, or you think he should still continue at Arsenal?
Well, Aubameyang, I think his situation is very, very dicey. It looks like the situation of Patrick Vieira, the situation of RVP, the one of Thierry Henry. It got to a point where they looked at Arsenal and looked at the progression of the club side. For them, it was too slow, and they needed to remind their grandchildren and their children of the fact that they played football. You know, how do you convince? I was watching Ryan Giggs. Was it some few days ago, and he was talking about how his children did not see him playing football. So most times he has to play videos. Okay, so how do you prove it? How do you prove to your children that you played football and then you actually won titles?
Wow.
You know, if he wants to win titles, and then there's a good offer from any of the club sides that are in such positions, he obviously should leave. But if it's all about money, like the reports currently indicate, £250,000 per week, he obviously should stay. Even if he doesn't sign a new contract and then he goes to stay at Arsenal for another 1 year and then he leaves, he can still earn money, because he will, as a free agent, he'll be able to negotiate his own a big salary, because a transfer fee was not paid. That will obviously be an advantage for him. But if he loves the club, if he feels a sense of responsibility because he wears the armband, he obviously should stay. But if he doesn't have that feeling and he must decide whether or not to win trophies or not, Arsenal may not be the place for him. Arsenal is not at the level of Liverpool as yet. They're not at the level of Chelsea. They're still not at the level of Manchester City. I don't think they're at the level of Man United. So what that simply means is Arsenal will just be hovering around 6 spots or maybe 7 spots. That's how strong they are now. Mikel Arteta is still learning on the job. Next season, if he's still the coach of Arsenal, he obviously will be able to sign more players, and with those new players, he will still learn more. If you say Mikel Arteta is a good coach, what will you say of Frank Lampard? What will you say of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Because they are still not at the level of Pep and Jurgen Klopp and even Jose Mourinho. They are still learning on the job. Whether Man United fans like it or not, Ole is learning on the job. He's learning on the job. Whether Chelsea fans like it or not, Frank Lampard is also learning on the job. That's why you see that the results are not consistent. Today, they get this result. So if Aubameyang, as a footballer, because footballers should know, they should be intelligent enough to know the direction of the club side. Look at the imbalances you have at Arsenal. Look at the goalkeeper, look at the defenders, look at the midfielders, and even look at the strikers. You are the only one doing it. You look at goals involvement. He's the most important Arsenal player. Although Nicolas Pepe and Bukayo Saka come close, but even those ones are still trying to find their feet at Arsenal. So if it's about money, if the reports are true, Arsenal should be capable enough to pay Aubameyang 250. After all, not too long ago they agreed to pay Mesut Ozil 350. This post-lockdown, he has not played. In fact, the last 2 matches, he did not even make the match squad. And the last time I saw him, it looked like he was in the beach. He was somewhere in the stands, and he had an umbrella. Those are the kind of players. So if you can pay that one 350, why not pay Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? He's at the twilight of his career. Yeah. I don't know what will happen in 2 years' time. If he says 3 years, Arsenal can take the gamble. They took a gamble with Mesut Ozil. It didn't pay off. The Aubameyang that I'm seeing now can still give Arsenal 2 years if he decides to stay. And even if he decides not to stay, there are other club sides where he can go. I'm sure if he leaves Arsenal, Chelsea look at him, they can carry him. Man United look at him, they can carry him. But Man United, they have a mixture of youth and experience. So it's really down to the player. As a captain, you should be able to lead by example. But sometimes we know that once you wear the Arsenal captain's armband, you are bound for the exit door. In the recent years, all the players that wore it left, from Vieira to RVP, Henry, Bamailen, Koscielny. So why should the case of Aubameyang be different? There's a cost. You see, you know when Xhaka was wearing it, he was about to leave. They now stripped him of the captain's armband. Now he's staying. Now the next person is Aubameyang. So if you just want an Arsenal player to leave, just give him the captain's armband. You leave.
Okay, yes, it's halftime right there in the game between Athletic Bilbao and Real Madrid, and of course the game has been completed. The game between Burnley and Sheffield United, 1-1 was how it's got wrapped up, and of course that's just the situation right there. Were you impressed with Burnley at all? Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely good for them in terms of where they're headed. They're not ruffling any feathers. The only thing is I'm sad for Sheffield United, who are trying to knock on the door of the European places. We saw them against Crystal Palace. This is just typical Burnley. They do what Burnley do. Smash and grab, party poopers. That's what they do, and they've done it very well. They've dented Sheffield United's European ambitions already. And of course, for Chris Wilder, they go back to the drawing board ahead of the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers during the week. So not surprising. I'm disappointed for Sheffield, obviously, but not surprised at what Burnley have done as well.
Okay, let me quickly get some reactions. Let's go for this call on Aubameyang. How are you?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Football Live.
Good afternoon, Anthony.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Yes, Friday calling.
Friday.
Yes, for Aubameyang, he said he wants to play for Arsenal. So if you ask for that money, they should give him, let him play for Arsenal. They should buy more players, quality players, and support him. I believe Arsenal will do well for the next season. And for this guy, Lewandowski, if they win today's match, they're saying one final today, if they win it and get to final in Champions League, I think they should give it to World Cup. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gift Ekunife says, good day, guys. I think that Aubameyang should leave Arsenal if he wishes to win a major laurel in his career, since he has not won anything really major. This is coming in from Abisoye. He says Aubameyang has the right to move ahead to fulfill the dream to win at least a trophy before he ends his career. However, wherever he goes, what is the guarantee that he will win any title before he retires? Arsenal should be ready to give him what he wants so that he can stay. Let's go for another comment here on Facebook Live. Daniel Ugochukwu says Aubameyang should leave Arsenal because of lack of trophy. I think that Chelsea should even sign him. Let's go for this one. Peter Maye. It says, for the benefit of Arsenal Football Club and their unreasonable and ununderstandable future. Oh my goodness, I've never heard that before.
I've never.
He says, I can't. He says, well, he can stay, but for his personal development, his accolades, and his achievement, he must leave the club, I beg, or else he risks winning any notable trophy in his career. Besides, he's relatively too good not to be remembered for any real trophy in his career, with the exception of goals. So he needs to top it up with a title, a major title. All right, let's quickly go for a few more reactions. Let's go for this call quickly. 07 000 889. Hi. Hello. All right, now convenient. Emmanuel Okedigun says Aubameyang and Tony should come to Manchester United. We need them. What do you need Tony at United for? Okay, this is Bear. Bear says, I'm a fan of Tony Becker-Dremel, but I totally disagree that Arsenal are not in the same level of Chelsea and Manchester United. The fact that Arsenal are in progression doesn't mean that we are not on the same level. From what I'm seeing, Miguel Arteta's trophies are not far off from now.
Let me tell you why. When you look at the Arsenal defense line, for instance, who are the defenders that they have? Kieran Tierney is still trying to find his feet. He's not at the level of Luke Shaw. You look at their centre back. Is it David Lewis? David Lewis just left Chelsea. Chelsea felt he was not good enough, and that's why he's playing for Arsenal. Will David Lewis play for Man United? The answer is no. Look at Mustafi. Look at Socrates. Who is the Maguire in the Arsenal defense line? Take it or leave it, Maguire is a very, very good defender. He's at the level of Virgil van Dijk.
Okay.
That's why Man United paid so much money for him. Look at the Arsenal right back. Is the Arsenal right back better than what you have at Man City? Is it better than what you have at... I can't even call Bellerin with Trent Alexander-Arnold in the same sentence. They'll not be mates. All those small boys who they play for Chelsea, Bellerin never reached their level. He's a weak link when it comes to the Arsenal right back position. Is it Maitland-Niles? When I say at level, you look at the players you have. Bellerin no reach Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka may have problems in distribution. He never sabi cross well. But when it comes to marking, in fact, he has the highest number. They know the dribble now. You know that if you have there, he may not be able to supply you the crosses or the passes, but he will do the first thing a defender is supposed to do, which is to defend. People they shout. Last season was Wilfred Ndidi, but this season interceptions and marking. Now Aaron Wan-Bissaka, not Hector Bellerin. He has to first of all think about. He's a vegan. Think about how to plant those trees that I said he wanted to plant, and then think about how to be fit, and then learn how to mark. And then you look at the midfield. Arsenal's most important midfielder is the one that is most maligned. Arsenal fans don't like him. That his name is Granit Xhaka. The remaining one, Man United they can dream of a partnership. I'm using Man United as an example now. They can dream of a partnership of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. Can you say that Arsenal have it? They don't. The only thing Arsenal have going for them is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. A tree cannot make a forest. As bad as you may think that, or as good as you think Leno is he at the level of is he at the level of what's his name now? They've made him average now, talking about the Man United goalkeeper. But then you look at the Man United defense, and then you look at the Arsenal defense. Man United now, have they not done 16 matches unbeaten? How many has Arsenal done? These two coaches, I would still, in terms of experience, exposure, I'll still even say Ole is better. In fact, it's better than Arteta. The same thing with Lampard. And then you look at the Chelsea players. Where you have Matteo Guendouzi, where you have Granit Xhaka, that's where they have N'Golo Kante, that's where they have Jorginho, that's where they have Kovacic, that's where they also have Ross Barkley. Compare these players, where you look at your wide position, they have Willian, they have Pulisic, now they've signed in Timo Werner, they still have Tammy Abraham that is coming up. Where you have Nketiah, they have Tammy Abraham, and they still have the former Arsenal striker in Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud plays ahead of Lacazette, even at the national team level, but that's something. So the only difference here, the only player that can conveniently leave Arsenal and possibly start for any of these teams is the same Aubameyang. So how can you say that Arsenal, and if you notice, I've not even mentioned Man City and Liverpool. Let's look at Man U and let's look at Chelsea. Are the Arsenal players better? They have Rudiger, they still have Tomori, they still have Kurt Zouma. What do you have? Put the players on the table now. Look at the Chelsea. Look at the table self. See where Chelsea is. See where Arsenal did. You never reach their level, though. Right now, Arsenal did the level of Burnley, Sheffield United, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's your level. Let them go to the market. get players, release some. You have Suarez. Who is Suarez now? I said the Suarez. Those are the players Arsenal have now. You see, Chelsea have all these ones, so they are still signing more. Man, they are still signing. I would like come here now and compare Greenwood, Mason Greenwood and Eddie Nketiah. I don't compare now. I don't want to see small boy. Compare small boy. If you look at the Saka self, it's not even at the level of Mason Greenwood. You know, rich. So for now, coaching Man United, they are getting it right. The man know they lose matches. They are even boasting that they can go the season. Can Arsenal boast like that? So there's still plenty to be done. No? You can't say that Ole is at the level of Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola. He's still learning. Same thing with Lampard. The newest kid on the block there in terms of the coaching is Arteta. Let him. He never even do transfer for in life before. He has never done transfer. Which player has he signed? He will learn how they negotiate, learn how to call players, say, come and play for me. Has he done that? Lampard just celebrated 1 year on the job, but before that he had coached at Derby County. Only don't coach before, although he relegated the team, but he don't coach for Norway before. Arteta is still doing IT. In fact, he just finished IT. He's doing his youth service. Maybe he don't finish his service, I don't know. They are not at the same level though. Arsenal fans, don't be deceived though. Still learning though.
All right, let's take two more reactions on this one, and then we'll move to our next talking point. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good evening, sir.
Okay. No, we can't converse with you. Sorry. 07000000889. Let's get it. We already gave you the. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon. Welcome.
My name is Bolaji Abachi. I'm calling from.
All right. Your location is not needed, Bolaji, but please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I want to agree with the analysis of Tony. You see, Aubameyang. When you talk about Arsenal now, we are talking about Aubameyang. When you talk about Aubameyang, we are talking about Arsenal. If you are playing for money, fine. But at the end of the day, you don't have anything to show for it. Why doing it for Canada? Why are we celebrating Pogba? He won the World Cup. What has Arsenal won in the last 16, 17 years? That is a major cup. Let this man live, Joe. He has tried his best. He's a goal scorer. He's a poacher. He's a celebrated footballer. But he cannot continue to play in an academy when he's supposed to be playing for the likes of
He's not academy. It's not academy. Arsenal is not an academy.
Their coach is even a coach of academy. What are we talking about?
It's okay. Hello, next caller.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, Anthony, you're even going too far.
What's your name?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Tony.
Okay.
My name is Anthony.
All right.
Anthony Becker at the moment is going too far, sir. He should also put Tottenham, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, and the rest. Instead, he's going to Manchester United and Chelsea.
You seem to be having fun about this. This guy is having fun with all this thing. Well done. Thank you.
Tottenham is even better.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Right, let's quickly move. We are going to our last talking point very soon, like I did mention. We'll get to join our UK studio. We'll have Bobby Jackson and, of course, Warren Ashert. They will be giving us more on the live action of things that are happening in the EPL, La Liga, Serie A, all of these games. And, of course, very soon, FJ is going to roll out the starting lineup again. We gave it to you earlier, Newcastle, West Ham, and then we'll give it to you straight up and no chasing. Let's go to our next talking point right about now as we get back to La Liga talks. Yes, and the coach himself, Quique Setién, is the man in the eye of the storm after he left Griezmann on the bench for 19 minutes against Atletico Madrid. And of course, Setién, who claims that Griezmann upset the balance of the team, gave a vote of confidence to the French international only 2 weeks ago, stating that he will be the first name on every team sheets. And this was 2 weeks after 19 minutes on the bench. So Griezmann's father, in an Instagram post after the game, couldn't really hide his feelings, calling Setién a pawn, while of course revealing Salvador didn't hold back in lashing out also to Setien, and so Diego Simeone refused to be drawn right into the whole situation, saying that the coach, saying that Griezmann made his choice, and so we need to find out who should accept the responsibility for Antoine Griezmann's failings there at Barcelona. Would you blame Griezmann himself? Would you blame Barcelona, or would you blame the coach Quique Setien? Tony Becadremo.
I'll blame Antoine Griezmann. Sometimes players are not intelligent enough when they move, and this is not even a question of being ambitious. Let me give you before Antoine Griezmann, there was a certain Ada Turan that played and was playing so well for Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid play a traditional 4-4-2 system. They play 4 defenders, they play 2 midfielders, play 2 players wide, and they play 2 strikers, 1 big man sometimes and 1 small man. That was the system that made Ada Turan thrive. That was the same system that made Antoine Griezmann, thrive. But Barcelona do not play like that. The 2 systems differ, and sometimes you must know your abilities, and then you must also know the abilities and the dynamics of where you are going to. Is it not a surprise that Ada Turan, that was playing so well for Atletico Madrid, made the switch to Barcelona and could not play? At the end of the day, what happened to Ada Turan? Story. The same problem Antoine Griezmann is being faced. Just check out the movement of Barcelona when they play. Antoine Griezmann is there. When it's time for them to pass to him, they don't pass to him. They will be looking for Messi. The team is built around Messi. And because Messi is in the team, you cannot play his role. You can't even dare play his role. You have to take a secondary role. And sometimes people thrive more in their primary role. You would have imagined that, okay, Barcelona were facing Atletico Madrid. You'd have a role for Atletico Madrid, have a role for Griezmann, because players love playing against their former sides and love scoring against their former side. But he didn't even see 1 minute of action. That's not to say he's a bad player, but he has gone to a system where he's not the go-to guy. While at Atletico Madrid, he was the go-to guy in terms of they relied on him on the goals. But Messi is the go-to guy. If there are times where Messi, Griezmann, and Suarez are on the field of play, Suarez doesn't pass to Griezmann. He only passes to Griezmann when he feels maybe obliged to pass to him, but he would want to give the ball to Messi. That's why he's not shining. You go to a team where the focus. Griezmann, make no mistake, it's not a bad player. It's almost the same thing at the national team level with Olivier Giroud. They work very, very well. But Griezmann and Messi don't work well. Griezmann and Suarez don't work well. He needs to work harder. Sometimes he comes deep to collect the ball. Most times they get the ball. Semedo gets the ball, now Messi. What's the other fullback's name? Jordi Alba gets the ball, now Messi. How many of them actually give the ball? And when they give him the ball, sometimes he's wasteful. So the first problem now, Griezmann, you didn't think it very, very well. That when I go, what happens? I think we had this talk before. That when the Barcelona team is healthy, everybody is fit. Suarez will take the central position. Messi will take his normal wide position. Where do you put Griezmann? You put him in the right. How well does he function as a second striker or play? Or function in a top 3? That's why he's struggling. We've had instances where players come to a particular club side because of a particular system or because of a particular coaching style. They don't function very, very well, and that's the story of Antoine Griezmann. So the first, I will not blame Setien, because under Valverde, was he playing well? The answer was no. So I will also not blame Barcelona. Barcelona have a system. When you come there, try as much as possible to function in that system. Players left and came to Barcelona and did not function very, very well. When Alexander Kleb left Arsenal, he was always starting. He went to Barcelona. I wonder why they even gave him a medal, because he was not playing. Alexander Song left. The level at Barcelona is high. The system also high. They have a template. Maybe players should even think twice before you go to some particular club sides like Barcelona and club sides like Real Madrid, because if you go there, they will judge you. And then after a while, after they give you plenty of playing time, you don't play well, you become a flop. You can actually call him a flop at this point now because he's not playing at the level he was playing when he was with Atletico Madrid, and then the coach is being modest. There's a certain way you play when you are at Atletico Madrid. You work very, very hard. Everybody gets behind you, and then you have friends. But then the man that controls this team here, now Messi, just watch very, very closely. Ousmane Dembele came to Barcelona. How well is he doing? Now the system. Fabregas left Arsenal, went to Barcelona. How well did he do? Well, once you can answer all those questions, you know the problem of Griezmann. Griezmann did not know what he was doing when he made that switch. Now he has come to football, and then football is being played at another level, and he's not the go-to guy. That's why he's suffering.
Okay. All right. So let's hear from you too, FJ.
I would like to say that it would be totally unfair to pin it out to Antoine Griezmann alone. I think Football Club Barcelona should take responsibility for the failures of Antoine Griezmann. Wow. And that is simply because there is a precedence. And it's a clear lack of planning, a clear lack of understanding, a clear lack of... it's an obvious... I'm running out of words because it's quite damning what is going on at Football Club Barcelona at the moment. Since Barcelona has lost Neymar, they've spent £450 million trying to replace him. None of those players have worked. Ousmane Dembele, Philippe Coutinho, Antoine Griezmann. And the funny part is we're all saying, oh, it's the players. Malcolm came, it didn't work. That's a player who probably is good at playing second fiddle. It didn't work. Luis Suarez is not being the same man. Barcelona is stuck in a time warp. Yes, the success and the glory has got them so intoxicated that they're refusing to build again. And it's quite similar to what you had in the early 2000s when Juan Laporta came and rescued them from the doldrums. And I think they really need some sort of rescuing at this point in time as well. Jose Maria Bartomeu is the worst club president I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of terrible club presidents. Jose Luis Nunez is one of them, former Barcelona president as well. You're talking about the former owner of Sevilla just as well, Jose Maria Del Nido, terrible president as well. There's a terrible president in Valencia at the moment, Peter Lim. Bad president, just not good at administration. You go to Milan, the latter years of Silvio Berlusconi, terrible. Mike Ashley at Newcastle, we're playing at the moment, terrible. You look at Arsenal, Stan Kroenke, terrible. But Jose Maria Bartomeu is number one. He has managed to outdo all of them. And the reality is, he's spending money, they're putting a lot of players in difficult positions, indicate his interest in these players. Antoine Griezmann looked at it at the first instance, didn't want to go to Barcelona, and then he goes in the second season because, Barcelona are going on the charm offensive. Barcelona went out of their way to purchase Antoine Griezmann. Why are you going out of your way to purchase a player that will not be key to your team? Meanwhile, Griezmann this season has contributed 12 goals to Football Club Barcelona, 8 goals and 4 assists, has won them 5 points already. So yes, as much as we understand that maybe, but it's very difficult to look at a club like Barcelona for a player and say, oh no, I'm not going to go there. You are not going to turn down the biggest club that's come for you in your career because
it's hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to say no. So I think, I can't blame Griezmann for that. I can't blame Setien because just like Griezmann's father said, he's a pawn in a larger game of chess. And if the father of a player says that, the father of a player who normally doesn't say anything, then obviously you know that something is wrong with the club, not the player, not the manager. It's down to Barcelona. They need to take responsibility. They're not planning well, and I think that's the reason why we're also having the same scenario with rumours saying that Lionel Messi does not want to stick at a club where there's no plan for a winning plan for the next 3-4 years.
Okay, so let's take the calls. Tony Beccadermo says he blames the player Antoine Griezmann, and of course FJ says it's definitely Barcelona. Let's hear from you. Hi. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Otto Patrick.
Welcome, Patrick.
Yeah, I want to speak concerning Aubameyang.
No, we're done with that. We're talking about Griezmann, okay? We've moved on.
About?
We're talking about Griezmann, please. We've moved on.
Yeah, I needed to speak about Arsenal. No, anyway, Anthony Griezmann made a mistake by going to Barcelona, because if you don't have a power with Lionel Messi, there is no way you can go to Barcelona and make an headway. So I think Barcelona is built around Lionel Messi, and if Lionel Messi doesn't like your face, you cannot succeed in Barcelona as a player. At least you can check series of players that has gone to Barcelona that Lionel Messi doesn't want to see their faces. All of them have to move one by one. Look at Alisson. He was doing well before he left from Arsenal to Barcelona. The same thing Fabregas was doing well. He left for Barcelona. If you're not in a power with Lionel Messi, forget it. You can't make any headway. So can I quickly chip in the Aubameyang issue?
All right, quickly.
Yeah, in case if whoever that cares to listen should tell Aubameyang to remain with Arsenal.
Why?
If he doesn't want his career to go down.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, because if you are a captain band, if you wear Arsenal captain band,
you leave.
If you leave Arsenal controversially, if you check the names of the Arsenal captain, apart from Thierry Henry and Vieira, that they did not leave controversially, they left because they want to go and win trophy.
They did not win. They did not win.
Apart from that, if you check the series of players that has left Arsenal controversially, where are they today? They are nowhere to be found.
Some have retired.
Starting from Adebayo.
Some have retired now.
No, I'm just talking before they retire. Did they remain as a player that they knew in Arsenal?
I don't understand what you mean.
What I mean is this, Anthony. If you are an Arsenal player and you left Arsenal controversially, maybe simply because of money or because of a club wanted you and Arsenal does not want to release you and you force your way, you can never remain the same player that Arsenal left.
I'll give you examples of several of them that did well.
Okay, which one?
Thierry Henry, he did not leave Arsenal.
No, I'm telling you.
RVP left and went to win Premier League in Man U now.
Okay, where is the RVP today?
He has retired from football now. You want him to play forever?
How many years ago?
You want him to play forever?
Is he supposed to retire when he retire?
Not enough.
No, he will not retire when he's supposed to retire. Because when he play only one season for Man U and he won the league with Man U, and the following season he couldn't do it.
Wait, I want to ask you a question. Those people that were playing with RVP, how many of them are still playing football?
No, what I'm trying to say is this. When RVP left for Arsenal, he was only able to play for one season and won the league with Man U. The following season he wasn't the same RVP that left Arsenal.
Leave story for touch. So player that will leave. Bakary Sagna left Arsenal, went to Man City and was winning titles. Guy Clichy, Nasri, all of them go there, they win. See, some players will have it bad. Some players will have it good. Thierry Henry left Arsenal, went to Barcelona to win titles, went to MLS and came back to Arsenal. Some will have it bad, some will have it good. Are you trying to say that Arsenal has a curse? Once you leave, they're not going to leave story for tortoise. If Aubameyang wants to go, he wants to prove it to his children that when he was playing football in England, he won trophies. He might not prove it as an Arsenal player because sometimes you need to show children of nowadays, they need evidence. Okay, it's not a joke. Ryan Giggs was explaining videos to his children.
To show that...
Ryan Giggs.
To show he actually played football.
Aubameyang, he didn't win anything for Gabon. I don't know if you won some small titles at club level. But if you want to win the Premier League or the Champions League as a player, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you can do it at Arsenal. At least not now. Maybe in 5 years' time. 5 years' time, you'll be 35. You know, go for play ball again.
Okay. A goal has been scored in the game between Newcastle and West Ham, and it was Michele Antonio who actually came with a lovely finish right there in the 4th minute. in the Newcastle versus West Ham game. So it's Newcastle 0, West Ham 1. It is. Let's also take a look at the game still ongoing. Athletic Bilbao and Real Madrid. It is still goalless. Should Real Madrid be doing something by now? I mean, it's the second half, of course, has already started. It's the 61st minute right now. It's still goalless. It is 0-0 at the moment. And of course, we'll get to hear from you. We'll get a few more reactions. And before we do, Real Madrid seem to be leaving it late.
Yeah, definitely. So it's just like I said, they scored a high proportion of their goals in the second half. And of course, you've seen them already increase the tally of their shots already from the first half since the start of the second half. And of course, they're getting more grip with them. They're getting more grip on the game. They're creating more chances, and of course, they're attempting more long balls as far as they're concerned. And of course, the dribbles is still a little bit of where the grey area is, because they're attempting too many take-ons. I think the players should just keep it simple, don't try to go for the spectacular. And the problem is because they've got the likes of Rodrigo Goish and Marco Asensio in front, two players who like to, beat a man before they release a pass or they take a shot. And I think it's really affecting Karim Benzema, because it's really having a stinker today.
It's looking like what Real Madrid did when they played against Espanyol Barcelona. That game, of course, if not for the deft backheel by Karim Benzema to Casemiro, we probably would have been talking about a draw. I'm sure Barcelona fans after 1 hour would be hoping that Athletic Madrid could make it remain like this, or if we go on to score a goal. If it remains like this, it would have been 2 points dropped by Real Madrid. But then they still have the small matter of Villarreal. It's one thing to know the result of your opponent, and then it's one thing for you to match it or surpass it. But as it stands now, it's good reading on the scoreboard, especially from Barcelona fans. It goes on to tell you about what we discussed earlier on. It was not as if Real Madrid had been fantastic. If they had been fantastic, you expect that by now they would have blown Athletic Bilbao away. This same Athletic Bilbao made Barcelona drop points. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It is important for us to note the stats, but the most important statistic is the scoreline. Ball possession is good, but it doesn't win you matches. What wins you matches is the number of goals that you can score. If you make the ball possession 90-10. If you can't score with your superior ball possession, you drop points.
All right.
But I like it like this, so.
It makes it more interesting, huh?
Yeah, yes. I want the title race to come alive. If they win Villarreal, if they play right and then Villarreal beat Barcelona, they should just tell Setien to go.
Villarreal beat Barcelona.
When?
Want them to beat them.
So you believe Villarreal will beat Barcelona?
Chukwueze will score today.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
All right. Let's take one more call and then we'll wrap up. Yeah. Who should accept responsibility for Antoine Griezmann's failings at Barcelona? Griezmann himself, Barcelona, or Setien? Hello. Welcome. You're our last caller.
Yeah. This is Chidi. Good afternoon,
all right, good afternoon, Chidi.
Good afternoon, Jiggy Man and FJ.
FJ and Tony Becker.
Okay, Tony Becker, I thought he's Jiggy Man now.
I'm Jiggy, but I'm not the Jiggy Man.
Okay, you always get his voice tomorrow from every man. This Anthony Griezmann, I think, to my own view, any player that moves to the backer, even if Kylian Mbappe or Lewandowski decide to move to backer today, as long as Messi is there, my sister or brother, it will be difficult for that person to move ahead. The point is this: last Champions League, one of the reasons why Barca lost 4-0 with this already called Liverpool, because they all want to. They were looking for Messi to score. I could remember an opportunity they had to score goal. They were looking for Messi to be the one to score. You don't play ball like that. You kill the other player. Look at Antoine Griezmann. They were doing well with Atletico Madrid. When you walk into Barca, nobody's hearing about him. I'm telling you, as far as Messi is there, the responsibility of this guy is the club.
All right. Thank you. Time is not our friend. We need to connect with the UK studio as Football Live continues. I did mention earlier that you get to hear Bobby Jackson and, of course, Warren Ashort, who will continue with all of the live action that's going on in all of the games, La Liga, Serie A, EPL. So just do all the stick around. It's been awesome staying here with FJ and, of course, with Tony Beccadermo this lovely Sunday afternoon. More action continues here. Thank you so much, and of course we'll connect with the UK studio.